Okay, there we go. Now I got it up. All right. So I just had to switch over because I see everybody's coming into the chat. And I have to say hello to some people. I was just trying to get some stuff set up, but I think it's as set up as it's going to be. But hey, check it out. I see Trucker Saw is in there. What are you doing? Jimmerock is in there. Whoa. Dezo's in the house. Super Freak's in there, giving me an update on everything. Riv. So, yeah, sorry for the wait. I just, I'm trying to set this up. So I'm streaming a little bit of, ComfyUI today. And last time I streamed, like, I don't know, this weekend, I just like had some ideas for, AI generated 3D text and stuff. And, everybody seemed to like it. So I'm going to check it out. And if you remember back where I used to do all the 3D intros and all that stuff, AI is kind of blowing me away with all of these like video making resources and image making. And so all of the things that were really hard to do, like rigging a character or generating a 3D rig or texturing, like all these things, there's like a workflow for that in Comfy. So I was like, guys, let's install this and see if it's doing some cool stuff. Another thing about, AI that's blowing my mind, whether you love it or hate it, you can love it or hate it. It's okay here. This is a safe place. You can hate it all you want or love it all you want. Whether you love it or hate it, it's moving so fast. There's like always new stuff to try. There's always like a new tool. Like I was watching this guy, he was doing audio reactive AI, and that's nutty. That's like something I've always wanted to do with the stream, is have like, stuff happening to the music or whatever. And, we've had that in the past where there's like, even OBS plugins that have audio reactive elements. But the AI takes it to an all new level where stuff is like meshing and morphing, and there's faces and animations and all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, there's just no way you could do any of that stuff using like the 3D tools that are already available. It's like just crazy. But what are you doing? Hey, Trucker, are you on the road? What's happening out there? What's the update? Maybe we'll do some IRL. I don't know. All the IRL stuff is, going full speed ahead. And there's always, people that are wanting to do IRL and people that are wanting to do events and all of this stuff. So we're still doing that. And who knows, I might have to peel off and go work on that. But the Super Stream system has been working so well and it's so stable that there's very little support for me to have to do. It just works. Just press go and it goes, especially lately. Music production has tons of AI application already. Right. And I'm interested in seeing that. Like, I want to see what people are doing. Like, I want to see AI in production. Like, I know we kind of see it in commercials. At least I think we do. And people are using it, but I think people are using the platforms. And that's like another topic. A whole topic of discussion is like using the platforms like Google, and I can't even list them all because I don't use them all, but I know there's like, a whole bunch of them out there in this AI bubble that we're in. Everybody's racing to explode. There's that versus this. What I'm doing is like completely local, like it's running on that computer that's right behind me. I like that because that's what I'm used to doing. You have your, when you're an artist or you're producing work, you can buy all the APIs and stuff, or you can like build your own. And I love the technical part of building your own render farm. Do you guys remember way back when I had all the computers connected and I built a render farm just to render the 3D intros and the background art and stuff? And, it took like, I think I got my home lab up to like 70 some cores, just of like, putting together as many cores as I could, 4 here, 8 here, then a big server off of eBay, 40 cores here. And like, now 70 or 80 cores is not that many, but when I was doing it, like that was to me a lot of cores, and it was, some of them were fast, some of them were slow. I love doing that, like just plugging all the computers in and trying to render here at home. Yeah, we were using Cinema 4D. And I still have Cinema 4D installed, but to be honest, I have not opened it for the longest time because, I haven't been doing any 3D stuff. But I think we should bring back the 3D. In fact, I will open up a couple of things. I'll do the same thing that I did last stream where I'll show you a few of these super dumb pictures that I made so you can see what I've been up to. But you've got your truck paid off in 3 weeks. Damn, Trucker Saw, that's hardcore. See, Trucker Saw has a real truck. He's got a real truck. I got a truck. I got a new truck the other day. Well, not the other day, but I don't know, a couple months ago. So I haven't bought a new vehicle. I haven't got a new vehicle since the year 1999 was the last time I got a new vehicle. And I had that vehicle all of this time, and I drove it all of this time. And then finally the other day I went to the Toyota dealership, and I was like, I like that black one. Give me that black one right there. And they were like, okay. And then I just drove off in that new black truck. So I got a new black truck. You got a 97 BMW. Do you get a Tundra? Well, you'd think I'd get a Tundra, but no. See, my car I didn't get a Tundra. I got a Tacoma. And maybe I should have got a Tundra. I should have either got like a 4Runner or a Tundra. But I saw the Tacoma and I was like, that one. I want that one right there. So that's what I got. They're good trucks. Yeah. Hopefully I got the new gen. All the guys that have Tacomas, like the Tacoma, culture, there's the whole taco culture, and they're like, oh, you can't get the new gen because they're always bad, when you get the new gen. And yes, okay, all of that's true. But the third gen, the Pride, once you have a truck, like I think once you buy a truck, you love that truck because you went through all the trouble to research it, and you might already, have, you kind of just love the gen that you have, right? And so it doesn't matter what generation of car you have, you love that one because you've put so much into it and everything, presumably. And so all the third gen Tacoma guys are like, fuck the fourth gen. And then the fourth gen guys are like, well, this one's faster and it's got the turbo. And there's like this constant fight. I don't even engage. I don't want to engage in the fight because it's like, I don't care. But I did get the new one. It does have the turbo. And let me tell you, that turbo, it likes to go zoom. That's what I like about it. You can hear it too. Like when you're driving, you can hear it go zzz, and it's cute. It's just a 4-banger, but it's got the turbo, and it's got surprising amount of horsepower and torque for just being a 4-cylinder. So it's a baby truck. And this all goes back to what Trucker Saw was saying when he said he paid off his truck. And, I'm over here talking about my little 4-banger, but Trucker, he's got a real truck, which is pretty badass. Yeah, Noxie, we're getting the rare Psynaps stream. It should be at least a few times a month, but it's more like a few times a year, But yeah, I always stream on the holidays anyway. But the mid-size trucks, they are small. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem is it's too small. The funny thing about this truck is that, I got the 5-foot bed because that's what I wanted to park in my garage. I think it's the only thing that would fit in my garage. It looks nice in there too. I'll show you guys. I'll show you what it looks like. I put some lights on it, and I put some Christmas lights on it. I put some under lights, the underglow. I'm a nerd. I know I'm dumb, but I did put the under lights on there. Maybe I've got a picture I can show you. But that's all I did. I'm not going to do anything else. I didn't do new tires or wheels or anything yet. I think if I did anything, I would do that. But, I wanted to take it off road, and I have a little bit, but I thought, you know what? Most of the driving I do, which is not very much in the first place, is on the road. So if I did get a kit, I would probably want to get like just some like something standard, nothing fancy. Maybe some what do they call them? Some BF Goodrich, like some KO3s. I think those are the new ones. They're good on gas mileage, so that's important to me. Put some 38s, and that's right. Super Freak, the new Tacomas actually will do, they'll do the bigger wheels. They've got a bigger wheel well. So you can put you don't need to chop it up or anything. You might have to lift it an inch or two, but you can actually fit some of the Toyo grapplers, right? And they look good, and there's no denying it. Like, I looked at them and I wanted to, and I was looking, okay, to get a good kit, to get a little lift and get the nice Toyos put on there. And then I'd have to get some Method wheels, some black ones. I'd go black on black probably, or maybe they've got like the chrome riveted ones. It looks pretty cool. To get a whole kit, I mean, we're talking about another 15 grand. And okay, when you love your truck, you do whatever you got to do. You got to do some bake sales for that 15 grand. You go out there, and you go out there and you set up a lemonade stand, and you go, you break that penny, your penny bank, and your piggy bank, and you go and get it, right? But I was like, no, I'll put some lights on there, and then I saw how much gas it eats, and I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm not gonna buy those wheels. But if I need them, I'll put them on there. Like if I'm gonna start rock crawling or something, I'll go do it anyway. The black with zinc hardware, that's my favorite combination. And they're pricey. Yeah, that's a problem. So we can definitely, I mean, I love this, talking about trucks, and you guys will know way more than I do. Cause I just started kind of liking trucks not that long ago, and then decided I had to get one. But I do like it though. I was complaining about the bed is small. People say there's no back seat in the Tacomas. You're not going to be happy back there, but a fat guy like me could fit back there. I actually fit my whole family in the Tacoma. We did a road trip. We went camping not too long ago, and I got 3 boys, mom, and me, and we all fit in there. All right. So when people start complaining about, oh, the trucks, they're mid-sized trucks, they're too small, especially the Tacomas, I just want to do some time travel and go back in time a little bit and remind everybody that not every car is like a full-size truck or a full-size car, and that many families for many years have no complaints in just stuffing into a vehicle and just going on a road trip. Like there's no problem there. Maybe there's some complaints here and there, but you know what? My family, they never complained. It was perfect. And we went camping up in the northern New Mexico mountains. I'll tell you what, man, there's some pretty awesome camping up there. Northern New Mexico. New Mexico is like mostly a vast desert, and then except for all the mountains, because we're right down the Rocky Mountain chain. And so you have these, beautiful mountain chains and mountain ranges, and there's lots of off-road. The 4x4 guys, off-roaders like to come, what do they call them? The overlanders, always pass through New Mexico. If you watch any of the overlanding YouTube videos and you see all these guys that, have their overlander rigs out, tricked out, all the sponsored guys got good gear. They always come through New Mexico. They'll hit northern New Mexico through their journey through the U.S. So that's my backyard pretty much. I just got to drive an hour or so down the road and I'm in a nice overlanding country. And Trucker's listening to me like, oh, this guy in his little truck. We're talking about somebody who, has lived in their truck and knows all of the ups and downs of driving a truck across the country. So, and he also streams too. For you guys all know Trucker. So I think Trucker, I think you met a lot of these guys, but you have to check him out. I like watching his streams. I've always loved on the road streams where people are just driving. It's just like, I feel like I'm driving when I watch those streams. Not everybody gets that feeling. You know how some people get the ASMR feeling? It's like supposed to be some kind of tingle or something, and only some proportion of the population can actually like experience true ASMR. Apparently, I don't know. I don't think I experience it. So I take their word for it. I'm a neuroscientist. I know everybody's like has different experiences, but I get it. That there's like a kind of a psychological, neurological thing. That's how I am when I watch driving streams. I feel like once I see the road on the screen, after a while, I just feel like I'm actually on the road. I get the feeling that I'm there, and I like that. So I've always enjoyed those, and I've always said that, but I don't know if anybody actually believes me, because they might just think, well, of course you like it because you do IRL, you know, of course you're going to like it. But I really do like get that feeling. So let me open up some pictures and show you what I've been doing. I was doing something kind of dumb here, per usual. Now, last time on the stream, I had made these, I was making these AI things, and I make these all completely local, right? And that's kind of like what I'm interested in. Like, I don't care if Nano Banana can also do this. That's not so impressive. I mean, Google as a machine, as a entity is like, you know, I kind of expect them to be state of the art. But when you can bring that state of the art technology that's being made by like this open source and scientific community, right? These are kind of made by the scientific community, and they publish these, and then the nerds integrate them into, you know, these ComfyUI workflows. That is what really impresses me. And that's like, you know, this is at your fingertips, and you don't have to, you know, sign up with Google and put your credit card on there and all of that. You just have to, you know, find a used GPU off eBay, and then you can get going. And by the way, good luck finding that used GPU. They're actually very hard to find, and they're not cheap. I don't know what's worse, sending all your money to Google or paying for an overpriced NVIDIA GPU. They're both have their evils, but at least with the GPU, you can do more stuff. Like, I can close down Comfy and I can do other AI, or I can do After Effects or Cinema 4D, or use the AI for text to speech, or whisper, speech to text, just like general everyday productivity stuff that the GPU can do. So I think that's the main advantage of running it your own locally, is that it's like you have all that control. But let me see if I can like go through these. These ones were those were Z image. I don't know if I like the way those come out, but it is trippy. It's really trippy to like look at every pore in your face, and it kind of shows how well you train these things. But there's too many of the same ones there. Let me try to find a different one. Last night I was experimenting with this workflow where, hey, Beefuteki is here. What? Beefuteki, I only stream like once a year, and somehow you seem to find me whenever I stream. That's awesome. Happy holidays. Yeah, it's been a long time. I've been in my cave. Yeah, Beefuteki. And I always get excited when Beefuteki comes in, because he's also a creator and also a techie, so, there's always the guys, you can completely nerd out with, and, he knows everything. Every time he comes in, he's like, whatever I'm doing, he's already done it times 10, and he's on to the next thing. But pretty much what I've been doing is, she's got tricks up his sleeves, but, and that's right. That's exactly what it is, man. You are a magician, I think, but I see GameVid is up there too. But the AI stuff, I got interested in it. Let me see if I just want to show you this, because it's dumb. All right. This AI stuff, let's face it. This is the dumbest thing I think any of us have ever seen in our life. But for content creation, it's so good. There's just so much you can sink your teeth into and keep you busy. And that's why I got so excited I had to go live, because I was like, this stuff is just nutty. But look how many I've made too many. I can't even find the one I'm looking for because I've been so excited about this. But I think it might be this one of the webcam ones. Here it is. So, there's all these workflows, and you can put a picture in, could be a girl with big boobs. And that's what it is like 99% of the time, right? I don't know why all of the, what do they call them? The gooners. All the gooners are just like going nuts, right? It's just like boobies flying out everywhere. And that's what they're doing with AI. But that's not the only, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. That's not the only thing you can do with AI, right? It just happens to be the thing for some reason we're jumping straight into, at least the community as a whole. But there is a node for a webcam right here. So I was like, all right, okay. So you got all these pipes. You might be piping in a live stream or an OBS or or your big boobies, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. But But the software, this is ComfyUI. Now listen to me. If you guys have not tried Comfy, try it. If you love or hate node-based workflows, and listen, I hated node-based too, even though, you know, for video editing and stuff, node-based, all the pros are going node. And even in like Cinema 4D and everything, you know, you got your node-based stuff heating up. And so I was like, no, it's too complicated. And it is, like, all these strings, you know, it's hard to wrap your head around it. I would say an analogy is like audio loops, audio workflows. You know, we can, as, you know, editors and producers and stuff, we can figure out virtual audio cable and figure out how everything hooks in. But at some point, your head is spinning no matter what. No matter how many like workflows you do, at some point your head's going to spin. And so that's kind of the feeling I get with these node-based things. But here's the good news. People make these default workflows for you, so you can get started really easy. And after a while, you kind of get a, hi there. It's okay. He can watch. I don't mind if the little guy's coming, but he doesn't know. He's never actually seen me stream the little one, so he has to learn. Okay, long story short, don't be too intimidated by this. If this pisses you off, that's okay. We're all getting pissed with these ComfyUI node-based things. The reward is complete and total control. All right. What I found is that you build one workflow, or you ninja one off the internet. You have it. And then as you're going, you start kind of plugging things in, and you might develop a really cool animation. Let me see if I can get a virtual camera to go. So see, look, I just enabled my virtual camera, and I can zoom in out. Look at that. So I can do a capture. I just pressed that button, and now it just like took a little capture off that. So now I can work with that in my my workflow. Hi, you can watch. But let me ask your questions and see, you know, what you guys are thinking about this. Super Freak says, so being a neuroscientist, do you have any tips to help manage epilepsy? Just curious, was diagnosed back in March 2017. Well, Super Freak, I mean, yes, I do have tips. And you know, look, the rabbit hole on that stuff goes deep. And also, epilepsy in 2026 is going to be the way doctors and scientists are thinking about it is going to be different than they were thinking about it, you know, back in, you know, 2017 or whatever. So there, you know, when it comes to science and medicine, it's moving very, very fast. So you do have to like keep up with your doctors and your specialists. And it's hard because they're hard to work with, and they're not always up to date. Some of the doctors are still old school. And so you have to kind of push and prod them to like give you the information you need. And then that's on the medical side. On the research side, don't hesitate to go out and figure out who in the community is like trying some new stuff. Have you tried like CBDs and stuff? Some types of epilepsy, and it depends on which kind it is. There's many different kinds. Respond really well to cannabis treatments. So check it out. I am not against cannabis as medicine. I think that there's a whole bunch we don't know yet about it. And guess what? One of the major things that cannabis helps some forms of epilepsy that are very hard to treat. So boom, there you go. Beaver Take says, what software? DaVinci uses nodes and it's complicated, but once you're down, yeah, exactly. I think the nodes are they're hard, but let me show you a video because the videos are pretty funny. There's also these ones here I was doing last night. This was like at 3 a.m. and I went through a whole bunch of them. Here's me just looking like, you know, like me at 3 a.m. And that's my background. Check it out. Let me switch my scene really quick, and I'll show you some of the videos too. But okay, so there's my background, right? It's a mess. I'm doing a solar build. I'm putting solar on my house. So I've got like copper wires and PV wires in those boxes back there. And I've got like, I mean, anyway, it could be a little more tidy in here. But that said, I just put that in with this webcam node. And then I said, put the neon lights back there, because I've wanted the neon lights. I just never went and bought them. You know, all of the streamers have their neon lights in the back. I was like, I I'm silly enough to put some neon lights in the back. I would totally do that. So I put that in there. I just put in the prompt as like, hang some neon lights on the wall. And there it goes. And it made this. This is an AI generated image off of my webcam, just right there in ComfyUI. This is also completely AI. This is not a photo. This is just like, that's not even my room. Like, that's not my light switch. Like, what even is that? Like, it just made all this shit up just based on a depth map. You know, it's like I probably should be careful, like scanning through these, but you could just see. And then here, I don't know what it did with my hand. That looks like, well, I don't know. You can tell me what it looks like. It's definitely not my hand, right? And so it just does all this stuff. So if you had like, you know what I would like to see? You're probably thinking, okay, so it puts a neon sign back there and changes your room. That's cool. Imagine if we could get it to do this live, like instantly live. It's getting faster and faster, but wow, that'd be nuts. So I just took a bunch of dumb pictures. I just had it render. I didn't tell it anything. I didn't tell it about the light. I didn't tell it what color to use. I just said, look, here's a depth map. Here's my like skeleton. Here's my outline. Just render it based on what it thinks my room looks like. And, you know, some of them are kind of bad, but let me find the funny ones. I put some girls in there at some point. Where's the ones with the girls in? Let's see. Oh, here's this one here. Okay, these ones were just changing the background a little bit. Studio, you know, neon and whatever. And some of them are upscale too. That's why it's kind of jumping around a little bit, because I'd upscale them for more detail. There's a lot of detail in these Quen images. Yeah, Super Freak. Hey, if you have like, it's hard to kind of answer those questions on stream, but if you have like more specific questions, I can try. I'm not actually like, you know, doing that research, but you know, when I was training in neuroscience, you know, epilepsy's, the doctors and the clinicians, the PhD MDs, you know, they were always coming through, always doing presentations, always doing, you know, their seminars and stuff, you know. So that was definitely something that all of us were taking a lot of notes on and whatever. So anyway, do you recognize this face? You can't really tell too much. I don't know what this classroom is. Look, this is what it made. I don't know if this is a high school classroom or college or what. It's just like, this is what it decided it wanted to give us. So there it is. But look at the girl. I put this, I told it to make the female there. And I was watching, what's it called? What's the movie? Blade Runner, right? So do you recognize the girl? It kind of looks like it kind of changed her face a little bit. There was some that where she came through a little bit more looking like Ana de Armas, and said, put me in Vegas. Okay, there's Vegas. And it does say like Vegas in the background. And then there, it didn't put me, it just put her. I was pretty offended. The picture like was my webcam, and I'm not even in it. So I was very offended by the AI there. The AI just wanted to render the girl instead of me. So whatever. There's me looking all 3 a.m. And there's one, hey, there's one for do some cheers. Okay, these are the ones I was looking for. So this was like cyberpunk stream room or something I put in there. And it has the upscaling. So look at that. And we'll check out these upscaling workflows. That was something I wanted to do as a part of this, you know, live stream that I'm doing. And I don't know. I mean, it did whatever, like with the beard. I think the pro AI people could probably give me some tips on making those a little better. And then this is the non-upscaled version, just kind of like the refined version. Has less details, but has a little more like realness to it, more flaws. And then this was the very first render. So I said, okay, make Ana de Armas as the cyborg lady, which is pretty cool. She's got like LEDs and it's a robot, you know, body or uniform or whatever. The hands look okay, right? This is Quen image edit. So it usually gets the hands right. And then that was just my webcam, and it recolored it for me. So here's another topic for editing. It's like the coloring. Like normally a colorist, right? And the colorists can chime in here. Normally coloring, it takes a lot of work. You're matching lights, hues, tones, everything, right? There's a whole bunch, like Photoshop, there's After Effects, everything. There's DaVinci. There's a million different settings. Every colorist is kind of have their go-to on how they like to do light in terms of, if it's soft, if it's punchy, if it's whatever. We all have our color correction is deep. It's deep. Yeah. And yeah, like colorists can get very, very particular. They do things with color that, the average editor doesn't even think about, right? Colorists always tripping me out with some of the crazy setups that they do. And I'm over here like, does it look good? Okay, we're good. It's like, okay, you do have to fix the color a little bit, but I don't dive in too much. I'm like, some people are like, have like color profiles, they've got their LUTs and they've got everything. And we've done that. Like we've experimented with all this stuff. We've made custom LUTs and everything, but it goes deep, right? So one thing I am interested though, I would like to see is if we can do, 10-bit, 16-bit color. I am interested in that. I love dynamic range and I love color bit depth. And I love those things because without them, we get bad images, especially when you upscale and you want to, but you can look at the gradients and stuff on some of these and they're actually pretty good. There's like a little on some of that. Well, let me just cycle through some more so we can see some new ones. But this one here, just playing with the settings, you could see some of the upscaling kind of broke the smoothness of the neon lights, if that even matters. But, looking at other smoothness, like what about gradients? I see like this little kind of like a halftone patterning kind of thing. And that's a Quen thing. You can kind of see the squares. So, there's some settings in there somewhere that could probably smooth that out a little bit. I'm interested in that kind of stuff. I want to see these really smooth gradients and see how much we can push this image depth and whatever. But I mean, you don't even have to. I mean, these pictures, you could just produce them and spit them out and they're going to be fine, But at least for like consumption, general consumption or whatever. I just like the technical stuff. Here, her arms are all messed up. I don't know, but she's a robot, so I guess her arms are adjustable or something. But all of these, they're all pretty much the same. All I'm doing is just very slightly adjusting some things, trying to figure this out. Like, see here, it just put a random PS right there. And it's funny because you could fix that. You could just say, hey, remove that, and it'll remove it, That's something else I want to do too on this live stream is some in-painting. I think in-painting is something that you guys would like. Oh, and another topic is Krita. Have you guys used Krita, the app? If you want, if this ComfyUI stuff is looking like you're wondering if you even have time to like deal with that, installing it, I'll tell you more about how to install it later too. But if you would like to be a little more easier and just kind of built into the video or the editor program, Krita is an open source program that has a ComfyUI plugin. Basically gets rid of all the node-based stuff. The plugin installs into Krita and you can just literally, and you get a prompt box and you can just use the tools in Krita to do in-painting, and you can select the face and be like, replace the face, and it'll just like replace it. And it supports a lot of the interesting models and stuff. So Krita I think I started with Krita, to be honest. I like this one. Look at the lady has like this neon stuff on her face. That's pretty cool. Imagine if tattoos illuminated like that. I know there's glowing tattoos, but imagine if you could get some like neon shit on your skin. That'd be nuts. So just do it in AI. Try it out, see how it looks. What do you think of these? Do you think these look dumb? I mean, they've got an ugly fat guy in them. Besides that, I think they look cool. And also I looked like at the computers, like what's going on back there. I don't know what all that stuff is, but it's pretty cool. if you're an editor, you can go back out there and mask that stuff out, change the screens if you wanted. The AI will probably do it for you. Be like, hey, your screens in the back are stupid. Replace those with cool footage of, I don't know, Pokemon, whatever you want to put back there. So there's a whole bunch of those because I just ran them through trying to figure out what was going on. Let me see. They do change at some point. Yeah, these ones are different because different settings. But still me looking like a buffoon here with Anna de Arms as the template. Let me show you what that template actually looked like. If I go over here to workflow, go to edit. So I built some workflows like this. And I don't know if they still have a picture. Yeah, they do. So this is from Blade Runner. And I was telling my wife, I was like, I couldn't remember the name Blade Runner for some reason because I'm a little bit mentally, challenged sometimes. And I was like, what's that movie with a girl? And then she's like, what? And I'm like, that one girl that's in everything. And then she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, damn it. So then I had to go to the internet and I was like, okay, it's Blade Runner. And the girl is Anna de Arms. Idiot. She's in all kinds of stuff. And she's pretty cool. In Blade Runner, she was like, not a robot, because she was like a hologram. She was basically like this product that you can buy, like a holographic companion, and she basically just like hung out with the dude and he took her places and whatever. But you'll have to watch it. If you haven't seen the new Blade Runner, which is not so new, it's actually like 2017 or something. Something like that. It's got Harrison Ford in it, and it's got a bunch of people. It's got here I go again. It's got what's his name, and what's her name, and all of them. So check that one out. So I put her in there because I was watching Blade Runner. I was like, okay, let's do her. And then here's my messy, strings of nodes. But basically, I started off with the webcam where I just like took a picture of my streaming frame, as it appears like on Twitch, and put in a prompt there about the neon sign. And it's funny. These are funny prompts, I guess. You can put them how you want. Interesting thing about prompting, the images do tend to come out better when you use like ChatGPT or you use an LLM to help you develop your prompts. Usually what it'll do is it'll expand the prompt to be very specific about various details. But here is just my plain language. And I found with Quinn Image Edit, there's Quinn Image and Quinn Image Edit. They're two different models that are trained a little bit different. This one is for editing because we want to edit stuff in the picture. But with Quinn Image Edit, I noticed you have to keep it kind of short. You can't do these long prompts with all these crazy details. It wants a very specific language. So I said, add a neon sign, the word add, or the word replace the background with a neon cyberpunk computer room for live streaming. And then here's a funny one. Add a super hot woman android from Image 2 with LEDs on her body, her hand on the man's shoulders, and the face is serious but friendly. I had to put the face part because some of them, she was smiling like she won the lottery or something. And I said, relight the subject to match the background lights. Okay, so here's the colorist part, the part about color correction. Normally with color correction, there's a lot of language to describe how you color grade or color correct an image. You're using all kinds of language. You're using saturation, hue, tone, what are some other ones? Temperature, all of the different ones, right? Make a very long list and of just even the easy tools, just like the tools you would normally do in Photoshop. There's like a whole bunch of them and you can make a whole list. And look what I said. I said, relight the subject to match the background. Right. That's the part I think that's pissing off all of the, the photographers and the colorists and the editors, because you can't just say relight it to match the background. Like, that's absurd, right? Yet that's exactly like what it does. I don't know what it's thinking. It goes through its training and somehow it comes up with, what it thinks is matching the lights. And so I just like click on one of these and you can see the lighting. Oh, that's one with the funny arms, lol. You can see like it attempted to match the lights. I have a million of these photos open now. And so like my room, when I took this original picture, this is what the original lighting looked like, more like this. Because I didn't have any lights on. Like my room is pretty much just illuminated by my monitor and maybe some like orange LEDs that I have on behind the monitor, which kind of just give the room a very low lit kind of ambient look. And this is what the color is. And I said, match the lighting, all of a sudden turns into this with, the blue and the neon and, whatever that color is. So is it correct? I don't know. We'd have to maybe ask the professional colorists if they think, that it did how it did with the lighting. So there I told it, remove all the clutter in my room. Imagine if the AI could actually clean your room. Maybe the robots will, clean up your room for you one day. But I told the AI, remove all the clutter, and then look, it just disappears. I like that. And then there's some lady harassing me, obviously assaulting me as I'm trying to work there. It's concerning. Let me see if I have any others that are interesting. Not really. I still have to show the videos that I made too. The videos are funny. I want to try training it. And then I also wanted to ask too, like, what should we do next? Like, okay, so we have these tools, but here's the thing. What is something really cool we can do with them? And within the limits of how these tools work, I think, some of the stuff I want to do with these tools is not quite available yet. Like I would like to do more like real-time stuff, and we previously, we were looking at game render engines to do real-time effects and stuff. Because game render engines, like Unreal and Unity are doing, some pretty realistic, some realism in those render engines. And that's the only way to get it like real time. And then you have AI, which is like getting super realistic, like beyond what we've seen with video games. But it's slow as molasses, just like it used to be with 3D render engines like Cinema 4D or After Effects, right? Once you have a really good workflow and a good idea, you put everything together. And then you just sit there as it's rendering, even if you have multiple computers and a render farm, you're still rendering that shit. It takes forever. So that's where we are with AI, where it's like these nice models, they need a big GPU and a fast GPU. And even if the GPU is fast, you click go and it's like loading up the model. It's got to load from your SSDs, NVMEs up into memory and then into VRAM. And then once you do like a really big workflow, then you share memory between the CPU memory and the VRAM, the GPU memory, and you have memory swapping to make it all work because it needs so much VRAM. And so that takes more and more time. There are some real-time, like AI inferencing, but it sucks. So I think that's going to be the area of like future development, is how fast can we pump out this fake shit, that's going to be the key. And then we also want audio reactive stuff, for the live stream as, music is playing. I was even thinking about Deadmau5. Like I would like to ask Joel, I wanted to message him, but, I don't know what mood he's in or whatever, if he's even available. But I wanted to ask him. I was like, and I don't know generally how he feels about AI, but I know that he loves, 3D. He loves the game render engines. He's done his videos and stuff in Cinema 4D. So if you ever watch him, he's going ham on, some of this programmatic node-based rendering. And he's definitely no stranger and has plenty of opinions on a lot of those super advanced, cutting edge, state-of-the-art workflows. And now we have some of this stuff coming up. Whatever your opinion on AI was, at any time in 2025, it may change because there's so much new stuff that has hit. You might have been thinking, AI, I've seen it. I've seen it all. Yeah, I've been on Google and Grok and ChatGPT and all of the video slop generators. I've seen it all. I've been on TikTok. I know what AI. I know everything there is to know about AI. No, it's different. It's like it moves so fast. It's like whatever happened before, whatever opinions you might have made, it could be different now based on these tools that are coming out. And so I'm also kind of curious too to get, opinions from people about what they think about some of this stuff. Where's that line between creativity and AI slop? I think that line is moving. It's hard to catch. You get this AI slop, spitting out a bunch of junk, and then you actually get these tools that can be, help you get to the next step as a creator, help you get to the next level in innovation and of creativity and productivity. So, yeah. So I'm going to keep this one open because I think we should probably try to do something with that. This one, the webcam node. I think that one's just fun. If you guys do Comfy, get the webcam node. If you don't know how to install it or you think it's going to piss you off, then just talk to me first. You just got to relax. I think I found a kind of a cool one here. So if you guys can find a dance video, I just kind of captured this off of YouTube. I know people do some really good dance renders, but I don't know where they're getting their dance things. Like I literally just went to YouTube Shorts and searched for solo dancer, and then I've seen this girl before. She does, this style like shuffle step or whatever it's called. She's like all badass. She just starts going nuts. So I just captured that, put it into Comfy, and then Fortnite. Beef Ticky says Fortnite. Use Fortnite. Wait, use Fortnite for what? For which part? Do you mean like for real-time render engine or for dances? That's right. Fortnite has all the dances. Okay, right. We could use anything. What if, and I was even thinking, okay, I've got the webcam node. Maybe I have to do the dances, the first time and then bring them. No, I'm just kidding. We do not want me doing dances. Do you remember when I got the stripper pole? Everybody donated for me to get a stripper pole and I got it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do the stripper pole. Like, look, how hard can it be if I got to do a couple curls, maybe do some push-ups, get fit, so I can do some stripper pole. I tried to do the stripper pole. I could not do gravity. I've never known gravity the way I learned about gravity trying to do the stripper pole. All right. It's different. Once you're on the pole, there's a whole different physics. Gravity changes. Okay. Newton, he didn't know about spinning on the pole. That would have changed the way he did his equations. So anyway, that's a black hole. But besides my failure to operate the stripper pole that I had, and I had a good one too. I got a nice one because everybody donated. I got a nice stripper pole off of Amazon. Very high quality, good bearings, nice and well oiled bearings in that nice stripper pole. Anyway, I couldn't do it. Now I think we should come back to that and put me on that pole because I couldn't do it in real life, but I think the AI I could finally reach my goal and deliver to the viewers what I was supposed to do before, but now I have to fake it with the thing. And we tried too. Like I tried, I think I even have like a little GIF here. Somebody, since I couldn't do the stripper pole, somebody made me a GIF just to make me feel better. There it is. There it is. Somebody, I think it was Nikki1, or someone felt bad for me, so there I am spinning on it. But anyway, we got to get that going on here for sure. Hey, 008. 008 is here. What's up?
Saying crazy things.
What, I did?
Yes.
Miss Psynaps says I said something crazy. What did I say that was crazy?
You're telling your Gunquan is triple.
The triple, I couldn't do it. I was telling them that I couldn't do it, and so maybe now I have.
It's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
It's really hard.
And so the best I got was somebody sent me that GIF of me spinning on the pole.
Oh yeah.
And well, let's just. I mean, I guess if you really want to know, you got to try it yourself, and then you respect the girls that are, spinning, doing flips and doing all that crazy stuff they do on it. Because it's pretty hard. I thought I was just gonna grab onto it and just spin, but then gravity took over.
I had to say something. It's quite nice.
But look at this handsome looking photographer right here. This just came out. Speaking of the technology and how fast it comes out, this workflow that I'm looking at right now just came out, and it's called SCAIL. And it, let me see if I can make some more room up here. Can I just say, well, anyway, I do it on the side. Let me try. Okay, there we go. So it kind of pops up a little bit. So this one, is like 3 days old or something, and this is like a brand new workflow that uses some previous animation algorithms here. You can see I'm kind of struggling to even describe it because I'm still a student and I'm learning what these are myself. But you've got these various models that are going to take a video and just put the skeleton in there to put the bones structure in there. And like in the 3D world, the bones are critical, and there's all these different types of open pose formats for 3D animation. You can bring those into Blender or Cinema 4D, and you can rig like a 3D character, and you have to attach the bones, and that's a very hard process. And you have these professionals that are literally getting paid all this money to rig characters. I tried rigging. We rigged, I did a number of 3D animations, and we did rigging here. And it is hard. And even big YouTubers like what are the guys that were reviewing this, the 3D VFX artists on YouTube, like Corridor. It was Corridor Digital. They actually did a method like this, and they looked at AI for animation. And of course they're being dramatic, but the Corridor Digital guys were like, oh, they're like, I can't believe it. Like they just, put in a video and it just like rigged it, created a 3D representation of what they were trying to do. And they're like, this changes animation, So I feel like my frustration on 3D rigging and, these pose controls is that anxiety is kind of relaxed a little bit, with some of these models. Cause I can, take a movement that I want to see. And in this case, it's the dance. I mean, these are catchy, right? All these TikTok dancers. Everybody thinks they're going to be a TikTok creator with their AI dance thing. I don't think that's going to happen. But you do have actual creators that are very talented dancers, and it's funny to like apply one of these dances to like a fat old guy like me who's never going to figure out how to do these dances, right? I mean, not anytime soon. Like I'm too old. Like I could. That girl could show me how to do this all day long for a week, and I still wouldn't be able to do it. Or I could just click go, and there it is right there. Right? So this is a new one. It does something different. I don't understand the NLF, but they publish these papers, and they're proud of these new methods that they're using for creating the skeletons. And guess what this is for? This is not intended for like, deep fakes on TikTok. These are intended for production. At least that's what the researchers, the guys that are making these in the papers are saying. Hey, this is for like production level animation and stuff like that. And so I don't know what else you can do with this. Probably anything. Could be somebody jumping out of a plane, somebody, maybe in the adult industry. I think they're doing these, you know, that you might have some actors in the adult industry and they are doing their dance, and you need to like get the skeletons from the dance so that you can, I don't know what they do. So, but I'm curious. I want to know what are the use cases for this kind of stuff. But let me show you what this particular one does, because there's all kinds of little pose things. This one happens to take your image, like you pick, you know, what the source image is going to be, and then it'll kind of reframe the shot to match your image. This is a cool one. I think that might be like Psynaps in space or something. Sounds pretty cool. Let's go to space. Let's go to space, boys. And then you find that, then you do your template. I don't have Fortnite on this machine. I think I deleted that a long time ago. Deleted that shit off this gaming computer. So I can't pull the Fortnite dances, but maybe we can find some references. Then you click run and let's see what it does. I think most of this is CPU based. Maybe it says it hits CUDA right over there. Sometimes it'll let you choose which CUDA device you want to use. And then boom, that fast. So it just cooked it up right there before our eyes, and it thinks that frame matches. So that might be something we could do right now. Why don't we try to see how fast I can manage to maybe adapt this workflow into an actual, workflow where I can dance. And then one thing I would like to see too, let me just try doing it with like my space picture. And then if I can get that to work with a static image, then I want to try my webcam. So, you know, take a picture of me just like, you know, as the streamer would be in front of the camera, and have it like see if maybe it can get me out of my chair and dancing around or something, which is probably what I should be doing. I probably should be IRL streaming, getting some exercise, but instead, look at, I'm here, you know, creating workflows in Comfy, which is pretty fun though, I gotta say. Now, a lot of creators, you know, what they'll do is they'll do what I'm doing. They'll try to get something to work and they'll make it work, and then they'll publish their workflows up on the internet. And I used to do that. If you remember, I used to have the, I think it was synapticmedia.com, and I would post a video and then I would post the files. The files were actually hard to keep online after like 10 years or so. It's like the links started getting broken and stuff, but we could try some of that again just to get you guys started. I don't know if any of these workflows are going to last 10 years though. AI is moving so fast that maybe even ComfyUI, you know, might be a different ComfyUI in 10 years. That's actually an interesting thought, because I think that ComfyUI is like a wrapper. It's like this node-based like ecosystem. I think ComfyUI might be the standard tool for all of this stuff moving forward in a big way. Like, I think it's blowing up. I think everybody is using it. And every time a new AI tool comes out, somebody will write a wrapper for it for ComfyUI. So if you're thinking about like, is this worth a weekend of your time to do a weekend project on this? I would say absolutely yes. I think that knowing how to use this thing is going to help out, and it's fun too, you know. And for some of you guys that, you know, you just want to goon, you know, all day long on this, you can if you want, or you can actually make production level quality assets and resources for your whatever, for your job, for your content creation. Make a Christmas card. This thing is a Christmas card making machine. You know what I thought would be a good Christmas card idea? If I got my family to have like a straight up real dance off. Like, I'm talking like, what's that Australian dancers? Remember the lady that competed in the Olympics? What was that lady's name? Do you guys remember what the Aussie lady that did the Olympics? Do you remember what her name was? We should get her in these animations. Anyway, imagine if we did a Christmas card with the whole family doing dances like she did, doing her dance, just like in the middle of the living room in front of the Christmas tree, you know, just like, you know, and just like everybody doing. What?
Ray gun?
Ray gun.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, we should do a Ray gun Christmas video of our family. All of us doing her dances. Miss Psynaps, she might have rolled her eyes a little bit at me there. Rachel Gunn, I like her. I like 008. You know Ray Gun because she's from Australia, right? I loved her. I absolutely loved her presence, like her dance. I thought they should be learning from her. Instead, they were like, her dances are so bad. Come on. Her dances were awesome. She was kind of in her own world. I loved it. Yeah, and then it got all dramatic. Everybody's giving her a hard time, and then she's getting all butthurt about it. It was a holy shit. That was a weird thing that happened. But I got distracted. What was I doing? I was going to connect this and actually try to make one. I mean, did they like her in Australia? I don't know I think I might be the only one who liked her. I mean, everybody interviewed her. I mean, she was like basically went on tour. So I can't be the only one who liked her. But anyway, we got to do a Ray Gun Christmas special. That would be insane. Not really. A lot of hate was given her away. That's pretty much all I saw. Everybody was just like, pfft. But that's how it is in the creative world, isn't it? Like even in the artistic world, like with artists and stuff. Remember I did I traveled with Adobe and I did all the Adobe creative stuff when they were doing it on Twitch, and I got to go to their headquarters in San Francisco and all that. And we got to do collaborations, and I got to hang around and meet with, a lot of the artists. Let me tell you, the artists, man, they are a bit on the razor sharp edge, end of things. I mean, they they're brutal to each other. You would think, in the creative world, everybody's kind of like, appreciates human creativity. It's kind of a weird thing. It's not so like, I don't know. It's you think it'd be more open and, understanding, because you have to be open and understanding to like appreciate art. I mean, it's very abstract. You have to kind of dig to like get it, and to be an artist. And maybe when I was younger, I thought, that would mean artists, would probably be some of the most open, understanding people. And they are absolutely, I think for the most part. But in the professional world, oh my dude, artists, they like hate each other. They're like, it's not art. Like, that's not art. Your art is trash. AI's not art. It's all bad. The only good art is my art. It's like all cutthroat, artists throwing each other under the bus for art and stuff. Like, what the fuck? Fucking people, man. Anyway. I don't know if you guys had any of those similar experiences in the creative world. I'm too chill for that kind of stuff. I'm like, if you want to hate me, that means I'm on the right track. If I'm getting any hate, I'm like, all right, we're moving. We are moving. Let's go. If no one hates you, then you must not be doing anything. Pretty much is how it is. Except for me, of course. No one hates me. Everybody likes me. I don't know why. I guess I'm just very charming or something. So one of the workflows I got to work was this. I called it, what's it called? Move. So with some of these like transfers of poses, one of them is called Move. And I think one of these I got a pretty good working one. One takes forever. Here's one that worked. It's definitely not me. Lol. This one took a long time, but it's more friendly for smaller GPUs. It's all pretty. I didn't make this workflow. I think this workflow may have come from either the built-in workflows or maybe one I got off of like Civet or something like that. So there's that one. And then this one. This one was faster. Okay, I remember this one. This one came from the ComfyUI guys. The guys that I think they post some tutorials up on the Comfy website. I don't remember their names. I'm just getting to know them. But they do like a YouTube live stream once in a while. They do like a talk show, and they'll do some funny demonstrations. And then they post these workflows on the website so you can download. There was, in their workflows, I think go kind of fast sometimes because I've seen some weird little bugs that I've had to fix. And I'm a novice too, and I've fixed some little bugs that they have in their workflows. But this one I tried to replace, I believe. Okay, this is the one that they had built in to theirs, but I thought I was able to switch that out with the more advanced workflow. So that's kind of what I want to try doing is swapping out this DW pose estimator that they use for this one that just got released. That's like a little more advanced. But I want to try to do it in a way where it doesn't take forever to render these. So even if it doesn't look perfect, it'll just pump out, you know, so we can at least get to look at what it looks like. So this one that's the, that one has my webcam node with Anna de Arms. That one's actually a lot of fun to do. And then I also try to do a refiner too. I'm going off track, I know, a little bit, but refining these is something I still don't fully understand, and I need somebody to like help me understand it, because I can refine, like my refines are coming out pretty good, but they're changing things that are not supposed to get changed, I think, and that just means I don't fully understand it. How long do some of the flows take? Said 008. It depends. I mean, dude, that's part of what I'm working on here because, and I think part of what everyone in the AI community is working on as a whole, there are so many little factors that can determine how long it takes. You can download models that are faster, that make it go really fast. Sometimes you lose a little bit of quality, but you gain a lot of speed. So that's what most people are doing because they have like a smaller GPU, so they'll get like a smaller, faster, quantized, optimized model. And then they'll just, you know, pump it through these workflows. And then you can also set the steps. One of the most common things you'll see on all of these workflows here in the sampler, you can choose the number of steps. That means it's going to do 4 steps. Like a step might take 1 second per step. And so you can render the whole thing in 4 seconds. Others will be like one step will take like 10 seconds. And so 4 steps might take, you know, just under a minute to finish. These pictures that I did last night, for example, with the, you know, just like these standard renders, these ones take like 20 or 30 seconds and it can go faster. But, you know, like the ones with the, like these with the upscale, they probably take like, you know, about a minute. With the upscale. That's not too long. I mean, shoot. I mean, we've had Cinema 4D renders that take a couple of minutes. But for streaming, we want it to go fast, you know. And also, look at this 3D wallpaper. I don't know if you saw this one yet, 008, but I got it. We're going to work on these too. I'm not there yet. I'm still on the pose animations. I want to kind of like get command of that. And then I'm going to hit the 3D text to 3D backgrounds, wallpapers again, because that's something we did in the past. I want to come back, but this is like my first attempt, like my preliminary. Oh, I think I showed you this in Discord. I think you saw it, but these ones here were kind of blowing my mind. So we're almost there. If I can not get too distracted, we could get there. But that's one of the workflows that I did, and it's relevant to this. You know, the depth and the way you kind of treat the input image. I want to see how fast we can get them, because imagine if I could pipe this into Prometheus bot and, you know, when we're doing something cool, we could just get them like rendering, you know, get some 008 wallpapers out, just some crazy stuff. I mean, some will be good, some will be bad, but the faster we do it, the more we can do, and the more we do, we're going to have some really, really good ones, I think. And so that's kind of the goal. Or we could just, you know, just spend a lot of time and just make everyone really, really good, even if it takes a long time, you know, kind of like really drill it down. But yeah, you'd be happy to help with testing and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Yes, I do. Will need some help with that, particularly because I will need, I want to involve you guys in every step of the way, but I also will need your screen names to test on, you know, make sure those letters and numbers are perfect, you know, because that's actually an important point, because we found that I found with Cinema 4D and stuff, not every name rendered correctly, you know, the font size, the name length, all the little variables are very important. So it literally is science testing this stuff on you guys. But okay, so I have this cool new workflow that not even the pros have tried yet. Not even all the pros have tried this one particular workflow. But how the heck does it work? How am I going to import this into that other workflow and then actually make it work? I don't know. Well, let's start by copy pasting it over and let's see if I can figure it out. This is hard. It's hard to like wrap your head around these, all of these workflows. So usually what I do is, and I thought I had a newer version of this shit. I'll have to go back and find it. But here's this here. And I'm going to try to go like kind of back and forth. These are the control nets that it used. Oh, wait, before I go there, I think I know where I have a newer version. Let me find it real quick. It is. I'm thinking the same thing, 008. I'm thinking the exact same thing. And I'm just trying to figure out how to make it happen. Webcam, control net, pose. Let me check this one. It's not this one. Webcam pose. It's not this one. This one is just like a cool example. I actually want to leave that one open because that one is really cool. I want to look at that more. Control net. Webcam. I guess I didn't save it. That's unlike me. I think I saved it just as a name. I don't know. But what needs to get replaced are some of these nodes right here, like this guy right here and this guy right here. I want to see if I can bring those in. So let me start by connecting these images. So this video is going to go right there. Oh, but I got to use this video loader. So I'm going to bring this over here. See if I can like magically, let me bring that down so I can see it. And then we'll try to clean it up because I know this is a little bit insane how it does all this. So this gets the video composition, extracts all components from a video, turns it into an image. So if I use this particular node, it simplifies all that. And then it turns into this guy right here. And then then this image is going to come over here into this node, and this node can be expanded. So there's nodes within nodes to try to help keep things organized. So, oh, I don't know if it's going to let me use that. Let me see if it will. It should. Because this is really just like the skeleton part is what I'm trying to figure out. So it shouldn't be too crazy. So let me just follow this one down. This one has a major difference is it also tries to resize that image and goes here, here. The render NLF pose, which I totally don't understand. I'd like to learn more about that. And then we get our skeleton coming off of there. So I think what that means is I should just be able to plug this part into What other outputs does that have? It just has an image output. So I should be able to just plug this image output into the face video like this. Boop. What do you think? Think that's going to work? What if I get nutty and I pull off another one and put it right there? Oh, yeah. Oh, you got an ad? Oh, damn it. Twitch ads, dude. Always, dude. Always with the ads. Right in the middle of when I'm trying to do something, too. I can't believe Twitch sometimes with the ads. I guess if it weren't for advertising, Twitch would just, like, cease to exist. That better be true. That better be true. If I find out one of these days that Twitch could be running all this time without the ads, and they just did ads anyway, just because that's what companies do, I'm gonna just take a shit right in my chair, right where I sit. Like, they better be doing it because they have to, and they'll be thrown out on the road if they don't. Or else I'll call the CEO and let him know how I feel. Because you know how I feel. I feel like this platform belongs to us because we made it. I'm sure the CEO will understand. Okay, so I think this one also goes over there too. So I'm going to try a crazy maneuver and I'm just going to plug this right in there. See all these things? But I have dissected this. This one's messy. Like, you would not want to, if you could help it, not want to have it so messy. All right, so this also has upscaler here and pixel perfect resolution. I don't know if I need those nodes or not. I think my resolutions might already be set over here, so a little bit confused about that part. See, it wants to rescale it after the estimator. So I see that it wants to go into a segmenter down here too, but I'm not going to use those. I won't delete them, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to inactivate those because I don't think I need these. I really like that song that was just playing. It's a really weird song, but I liked it. That was cool. I'm going to try just inactivating them because the SAM segmentation, I think that's for if I wanted to do like a deep fake, like if I want to put my body on that dancing girl and then me dancing in her frame. But what I am going to do instead is
long-winded.
Shoot. Okay. Yeah.
Which one?
What? Chicken or burger?
Or long-winded.
I think just a regular burger.
Okay. Did you hear to be long-winded? And he said, I am long.
Oh, what a boss. Is he watching?
Well, no, we're watching TV.
That's cool.
Yeah, let's put Daddy on the TV.
You're going to put me on the TV? Oh, cool. I could stream to our house too if that doesn't work. If you get a bunch of Twitch ads. Oh, that's something I want to bring back too, is the private stream. So I can actually stream to my own platforms, without ads, so you guys can watch. It costs me, oh man, if I had like 1,000 concurrent viewers, that would be pretty expensive. But at least like for subscribers or regulars or moderators and stuff, I can maybe be able to provide the private stream again. Nobody really private streams because nobody wants to pay for a private stream. Even like companies that need private streaming will try to figure out how to stream on YouTube before they pay for streaming. Nobody wants to pay for streaming. For like distributing streams to like the masses is what they don't want. So Fateless, I haven't seen you in years. I'm doing ComfyUI. I'm trying to make myself dance because I'm not a good dancer. So I have to figure out how to connect all these little wires together so that I could finally be a better dancer. And I think I know what I must do. You ever have that moment where you just know what you must do? Where it's just like at some point you're like, I know what I must do. I must connect these lines to become a better dancer. Or is it just me? I don't know. But this image goes out to... If you move them around, you can kind of see where they come from and where they go, and they get highlighted. This upscale image is really a little bit upscale-y. I don't think I need this part, though. I'm going to see if I can do it without that. I'm trying to like import a pretty complicated like workflow into an existing workflow because it's like brand new. You know what else is brand new? Me to ComfyUI. So we're kind of learning together. And that goes there. And then these go out to, oh, the video size is set right there. Okay, I think I see how it's trying to do it. Trying to set the video size right there. But I think I don't want to, I'm going to inactivate these because I feel like I'm afraid if I delete them, then it'll mess up the whole thing. I think I'm almost ready. Ted! I think to become a better dancer, you just need to visit your kegerator. Oh, don't remind me of the kegerator. I'm sad. I'm sad about it. I let the kegerator go, Ted. Remember a long time ago, I had to let it go because it was too good. You know, usually I hold on to things that are good. No, it was actually just in the garage. I wasn't using it. Yeah, that's why I let it go because number one, it was collecting dust, and number two, it was expensive. See, I thought this is where like theoretical math and real world math are different. You know, there's theory and practice. See, in theory, if you buy beer by the keg, you should get a better value and save money, right? Correct. The math adds up. The math adds up. You get more beer for on your dime, right? With a keg. But there was a missing equation that I didn't put into the calculation. And that is how delicious and good and cold beer out of a kegerator is. It's so delicious. You just cold flowing beer coming out at any time you want it. You just pull the lever and it's like, you know, bubbly, fresh beer comes out. See, what happened was the beer was cheaper in a keg, but I was drinking more of it because it was so delicious and it came out so cold and stuff. And so the kegs were disappearing. Like, I was like, where'd the keg go? I got to go get another keg. And then we'd go, you know, drive down, go get another keg. And I'd put the keg in the front seat and put the seat belt over the keg. You know, we'd drive it home and plug it in, cool it down, and tap another one. And actually, beer got a lot more expensive with the kegerator, I got to tell you. So and then I, you know, put it in the garage, and then I stopped using it. So I just sold it to somebody else. And I told them the story of the kegerator. United too many chairs. And look, if you guys want to, you know, and I got it at Costco too, which is funny. I think they were carrying them at Costco at the time. And I'd walk down the aisle, you know, and I'd see it and I'd be like, oh, I want that, you know, and I just keep going, except for one of the times I took it home. But it was good. I don't regret anything. The kegerator was amazing. You know, maybe if I had a bigger house, I'd have some more kegerators or something, but had to make room for whatever. Speaking about making room, I want to show you guys sometime. I got a new truck, and I want to stream in it. I haven't streamed in it yet. I got a taco, and I want to turn it into a stream mobile. I've already been thinking about it. I took it camping, and I thought, you know, all the stuff I put together for camping on it, I think we could use for streaming. I even got a Starlink. Did you guys know that you could run a Starlink for $5 a month? Next time your home ISP is giving you shit, and they're playing dumb on tech support, just threaten them that you're going to get a Starlink, then they might help you more. I did that the other day. I don't know what my internet was doing, but I'd be like, I was halfway in a conversation with support, and I was like, you know what? I just remembered I have a Starlink, and they ended up doing like what I asked them. They ended up fixing whatever the problem was that I needed help with. Because halfway through, I was like, I have a Starlink. That's right. Like, I could cancel this internet to use Starlink if I had to. But the Starlink, to put it like on a standby, was like $5 a month. I know the boxes themselves are expensive, so it's like, oh, if you don't have a Starlink already, it's like, oh shit, you got to buy a Starlink. They do go on sale, and well, let's face it. I mean, mobile data is a hell of a lot more than $5 a month. So I was kind of happy to see that it could at least run for navigation purposes, camping purposes, basic, like whatever. Not streaming. You do have to, if you want to stream on it, you would have to upgrade it to the more expensive plan. But you could do it just about everything else other than stream on that $5 plan, which is pretty sick. All right, so I got that connected. Is it ready to try, do you think? I think this might be... That's all I need. I just needed to plug the animations into this sampler. And I think it's going to go. Okay, let's try it. It's going to take a minute to load up these animations. Let's pick the picture that I want to put in there. Which one do you want to see dance? Or guys could send me one too. I want to see if we can figure out a way that you guys might be able to like send Psynaps bot some stuff and then have Psynaps bot like cook something up for you guys. Maybe we could do that in Discord first to try, and then maybe in Twitch chat, because I don't know what I can't foresee what would happen if we let the AI just cook stuff for the chat. Something scary might happen. So okay, so it's doing something. I see the little green things will kind of like go back and forth as it makes its way through this flow. Right now it's generating the dance pose. I like to call them the skeletons. Skeletors. And then now it's starting to read something. Something's happening over here. Let's go over here, see where it went. What's it looking at? It's looking at the clip. So now it's trying to understand the image using the language models. Now it's doing some Chinese. I don't know what that says. It's probably gonna troll me because I don't understand. I have to translate that. But the AI understands it. Everybody uses this Chinese in that negative prompt. I don't know why. It does something magic, I guess, some magical Chinese prompts. And now it's in the sampler, the WAN animate to video. It's going to do 77 frames. It's one of the problems with the AI is with these models is they don't do very many frames. So it's kind of you're kind of making small videos. Now, there's a whole workflow for making the videos longer and then making the videos bigger, upscaling. So that's kind of where we're at, it seems like, in the AI world, whether you're generating images or video. We have to start with these, you train the model on these small images, which it does surprisingly well. Like even the small, it's enough to get it going, to actually generate larger images from smaller images. But even when you generate, the images are still pretty small, and we're coming from a world of, megapixels. Even our phone does a lot of megapixels, it does 4K. The new phones are doing 4K, 8K. The cameras, doing 4K, and the new ones even 8K. Even a drone, the DJIs are doing 8K in the sky as they fly by. And that's a lot of pixels. So we have all of our equipment here optimized for high pixels. Then, looking at AI, it's not generating that many pixels, at least not on the first pass. You got to generate the little picture, and then you take the little picture, and then you use tiling and stuff, then you make it into a bigger picture, and then you take the bigger picture, then you do your final upscale to your 4K picture. And so it's this huge workflow, and we're going to go over all of these steps. I'm just trying to emphasize the point that, the AI is kind of magic, where we're turning just a few pixels into more pixels, and that's how it starts. It's part of the seeding it. But let's look at what it's doing. This is my AI machine. It's the computer that's behind me. Just have it running on Windows. I don't know if there's any advantage to running it on Linux. Some people will say there is, but is there really? Probably not. I do need to upgrade my storage, though it's a little bit slow. I just kind of threw together parts that were just laying right here, actually, to build that computer that's behind me. But it does have a couple of GPUs in it. It's got a 3090. It's a used 3090. I got it just for this purpose. Interesting thing, if you research, what kind of GPU should you get for AI, or which one should you? And there's also an A4000 there. I like that GPU. It's slower than the 3090. For AI, at least. Interesting thing about the GPUs is a 5090 is obviously what you want. But the 5090s, you're not going to want that price for the 5090. If you care, you're not going to like that 5090 price. And that's pretty much what the general consensus is. The 4090s and 5090s are, you probably put a down payment on a car or a house, whatever, for, building a system with those in them. But the 3090s are still overpriced. It still piss you off when you see how much those are, but you can buy them on the secondhand market and get relatively better deal, and they still do all the things, albeit maybe a little bit slower than a 5090 would do it. So at some point you are going to have to upgrade your GPU to like a 5090, or just lease one on the cloud or something for some of the tougher workflows. But as you can see, it's doing something here. It loaded up the model. It's doing stuff. The VRAM is all the way filled up, 24 gigs filled up for this video. I think ComfyUI is like just shedding memory itself. It's doing its built-in thing. Something's happening down here. Oh no. Oh no. It made one. One is ready. I'm realizing right now at this very moment that I may not have fully thought this through, what I'm actually doing right now. In that, I definitely knew that I wanted to kind of work through this workflow with you, but I don't think I was thinking of the consequences of what I was doing, because I don't know what's going to happen here. But before I play this, at least tell me this. Does that look like me? Like, I don't know, on a scale from like 1 to 10. Well, let me rephrase, because I want to acknowledge that, yes, the AI version of me does look better, because I did train it when I had long hair, and my hair did look exactly like that. You guys remember when I had long hair? Like, I looked amazing with long hair. It was great. But the long hair, I was buying shampoo. It was like harder to wash, it was more hair, like sitting there in the shower, like, fucking hair. It's like getting like shampoo, like, like, it's too much. Like with short hair, it's like, it's so much easier. And then the other thing that pissed me off about the long hair, and let me just say, like, the long hair, it was amazing. Like, I felt so good with the long. I felt like a rock star with the long hair. But holy shit, I'm building something. I just like look down at something, and then my hair is like, I feel like Cousin It, instantly, because I can't see anything, completely blind. What if I had to fight a bear? Like, what if I'm building a computer and like a black bear comes in and I have to like fight it hand to hand? The black bear's going to win, because I'm going to be completely blind, because I have this amazing rock star hair and I can't see anything. And that's how it is too. Have you guys had long hair? It's like, I don't know how girls do it. Like, I feel completely like blind with the long hair. Just, it gets in my eyes. Yes, you can tie it up and put it in a bun and all that, but who has time for hair ties and all this? Anyway, I cut off the hair. It was great. Oh, but I miss it. So I trained the AI on the long hair. So it doesn't look exactly like me, because it has me with the longer hair, but does at least the face look like me, and the beard? As long as the face and beard are there, I'm okay with it. Okay, that said, if you think it looks enough like me, I will continue the workflow and see what happens. Let me see the skeleton it made. So it took this image of me sitting down in space, and it thought this skeleton would match that picture the best. And the skeleton, the pose, is based on this dancing lady, which I just like ninja'd out of off of some YouTube shorts, I think. Plus, I've seen her before too. She's awesome. She does like the what's it called? The skipping or the whatever it is. Okay. So it's going to do a bunch of magic and AI stuff, and then somehow leads to these outputs right here. This could be a disaster, or it could be absolutely amazing. Okay, so that's the short one. That's like the seed or something. And then it goes into the second extender, which I think can be like automated. I think there's some like infinite loop loops that you can do where it goes and goes. So that's part of the limitations that I was kind of trying to touch on before, was that we're talking about a low amount of pixels and a low amount of frames. So it can only do so many frames. So you have to like do chunks of frames. You know, maybe one day it'll just do like, 10-minute video and not have to do so many chunks or something. I don't know. So this one's going to be a little bit longer, up to 10 seconds, because the original video is 10 seconds. Whoa, it just like stops right there. So it didn't work. The second part didn't work. After 4 seconds, it just... Oh, that's actually kind of badass though. The way the hair goes though, watch. He's doing like the whatever, and then just like doof, freezes in time. That should be an effect. So it's not, I think that means it didn't continue. But I feel like that like effect right there is kind of badass. Because what if you're like right in the middle of a dance and then you just like pause and then zoom in? It's kind of sick. Whoa. Now, why did it do that? Let me save this as because I'm trying to integrate this new skeleton, which is supposed to be superior. So let me try deleting some of these other things. So the other thing we can do is like, I could try to put my face on the dancing girl and try to deep fake myself onto her thing, or have, or like transfer my outfit and face onto her. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take the dance and then apply it to my picture. So I think I can delete some of those. But let me see if it'll actually work. And then these guys, I think I replaced all of those already, except for I missed one, the extender. Let me see which one that one goes into. I don't know how to use that thing yet. So I might have to do this, where I bring it over here. And then plug that into the pose. Nice. And then what I notice is, yeah, all of the connections are gone from this old pose estimator. So I'm going to go in and delete those. So now all my pose stuff is now isolated to this workflow right here. And I'm going to put the video over here so I can see it. And then, oh, you know what? I think I can actually delete that video. Okay, so because I'm using this one, the new one. So I'm going to move that right there. And then this guy, what is this guy doing? Reference image. Okay. So it needs the reference image, but I also have this right here as the reference image. So, and it's resized. So does this one want to resize before it goes into the vision? Doesn't look like it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to delete this one. But before I delete it, I want to go ahead and connect them to the things there. Click that one right there, connect that one right there. And connect it to all of these that it was connected to before. And I want to see if I get the same result. I just want to make sure I'm one by one replacing the default ways with the way I think it should be with this new node system. All right, so if I look at this old one, it's now isolated. I took all of its little connections and I connected it to this new loader, which I probably didn't even need to do. I probably could have just used the old one, but it just made less connections. But also want to practice arranging these. I think for educational purposes, like if you really wanted to understand how these work, you should probably just build it all from scratch. But I'm not quite there yet. I'm kind of at the point where I see somebody's built these nice, what do you call them? Like subgraphs. I just want to start. I want to start off with the subgraphs they already did because I know those work. And then what I'm doing is I'm trimming it. So I'm taking a small piece out of this template and then I'm putting my own thing in and trying to figure out like where it goes. And that's going to help me understand how it works, I think. So I did save that as a new one. Let me try running it one more time to see if it runs. And then, but before I run it again, I also want to just double check, like why did the extender not keep going? I wonder. Something is not plugged in there. So we got the face, the pose. I wonder if it wants a background video plugged in. I don't think so. I think it actually just skips background video. And then got all those plugged in. The clip seems to work. So the only thing it was struggling with was transitioning from this like first one to the second one. And then it's got the dimensions up here set, but I think I might also set them over here somewhere. See where this one is set. So right here, resize image 480 by 854. Are those the correct dimensions? Maybe. Some of these models have to be, the dimensions have to be like divisible by 8 or 16 or 32. I do have a node for that. All right, I'm just going to press go and see if it errors out, see if I miss something. Oh, I did. Okay, so it wants, oh, uh-oh, what is that guy? This guy is going into audio and just audio. Oh, okay. So it wants a video input. I think that's going to be this guy maybe. Oh shit. See, it's disconnected, but I don't know what was connected to it before. I missed that one. Let me see if I can find, who are you? This is what it was before, so I can check. It was connected to, oh, this video loader has a video output. But this one, this video loader, wait, where is it? This video loader only has an image output. Okay. Oh, it has an audio. Okay, I see what to do. I see what to do. So this one is actually redundant. It has images and video because the new loader has does it for you and it has the audio output. So I just have to find out where this is connected and then connect those audios. So this audio goes there. The audio goes there. I'm not using these extenders, and these extenders probably should be looped like in a different way. There's some nodes that do looping for you. I think they're rather redundant, but good to see how it works. And images, what is this connected to? Oh, background video. But it's only connected to one background video. Ah, interesting. Okay. And I had that over there. Let me save that. Okay, let's try it again. High potential, yo! Let me see what High Potential said. High Potential said, hope you're doing well. Psynaps graduated last week. Going to be started at a national lab in February. So I can say cheers. Wow, cheers to you at a national lab. What are you going to be doing at the national lab? And also, it's great to hear from you. Happy holidays. I hope you're doing well. That sounds like some fantastic news. Sounds like things are going well. Is this going to be like physics, or what will you be doing at the lab? And which national lab? Are you going to be in New Mexico? Are you going to be in my parts of the woods? Brookhaven National Lab is going to continue doing non-proliferation work for DOA and NSA and collab with MLAI department. Ooh, nice. Oh, that is hardcore. Oh, I'm so curious to what in the world, what in the universe are they going to be using machine learning and AI for? You can see what I'm using AI for. I don't know if I should even be doing this, but I just could not help myself. I had to know how to get the poses to work because, you know, this is always in 3D animation. This has always been so hard to do. And, you know, it's been challenging and it takes a very special expertise in, you know, rigging, you know, which is an entire skill of its own, you know, to get it to work in 3D. And now some of these tools coming out, you know, and there's scientific papers on this, you know, this is all like, you know, these labs are publishing these algorithms and then releasing them. And then the artistic community is developing wrappers for the technology and then putting them into to the ComfyUI interface. So you're going to see this kind of tech being used to make TikTok videos when in fact there's a lot of math and science behind this kind of stuff. Now, can it make me space Psynaps? I'm like in a spaceship or something. Can it make me do that? Well, I suppose the hypothesis is valid because it's testable. We're going to find out. Oh, did it already do it, or it's just doing it? Let's see what happened. It tried. It messed up. It got halfway through because there's a new algorithm, a new method that came out for production, like super quality production poses, and this came out like just a couple of days ago. And of course, all the nerds are already started integrating it into this UI. Into ComfyUI, and so I wanted to like rip out the previous, you know, well-known algorithm and then put this one in and see if I have enough command over this node-based system to be able to do that. And it looks like it did work. At least that part of it did. The pose part worked. But now I'm trying to figure out just animation in general, where it has to, you know, it'll cook a few frames. It'll cook like 4 or 5 seconds of a video, using what I call WAN. I think people are calling it WAN 2.2, but I guess I'm an asshole. I see it like WAN 2.2, and this is like this video model, which is doing some pretty incredible stuff. I think really it comes down to who's driving here. You know, if put in the right hands, this can actually create some pretty incredible stuff. Is it in the right hands with me? Well, it's in some kind of hands with me. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to find out. But I love the rigging method. That's so cool. And my more recent work has been stealing a model traditionally used for image generation translation, making it work for spectrometry. Sometimes it works both ways. Absolutely, it should. It should. This is, I think, where, you know, this, you know, diffusion technology and some of the language models, this is where it should be applied. In science, just as a whole is, you know, this collection of, you know, language corpus. It's essentially what the LLMs are trained on and designed to do, to understand our understanding of the universe. And so we understand the universe in a lot of different ways, and in math and in language, but math is also, well, maybe a mathematician will argue with me on this. I would definitely like to have this conversation with a mathematician, but math is one of our languages. And so I think that, in science, this is definitely a tool that can help us take the next step in our evolution in scientific history and knowledge, to take the next step forward and to understand the universe in terms of these language models and these math models that AI is providing for us. It's not cheating. It's a tool. Is putting a telescope in space cheating? Ooh, now the images are clearer. Or more clear. Clear. We're capturing better resolution images in space. You can't do that. It's cheating. I think it's the same if you're talking about using AI in math and science. It's not cheating. It's putting the telescope. It's taking the atmosphere away from the optics, and it's allowing you to resolve things more clearly, or just resolve things differently. In terms of spectrometry, it's just observing another frequency. It's being able to see something that you couldn't see before. And that's just my opinion. Okay. So it's done cooking. What I didn't break it. Otherwise, this would have completely failed if what I did broke it. It didn't break it. It's going. But let's see if it does that weird freeze thing that it did before. And then I can figure that out. Yeah, it did that freeze. That's cool in its own way. It's just like he just stops. He does the first 4 seconds and then pauses, but the hair kind of bounces as he stops. And now it actually looks like he's floating in space. I like the effect. I think that should be its own effect, but it wasn't supposed to do that. It was supposed to keep dancing for another 5 seconds. So I don't know what the hell is going on there. Nascent technology instead of just calling it all cheating. Yes. Well, people are going to use it to cheat. So there is that, yeah, and I have a lot of opinions, just like everybody else does. And, I try to use analogies of what have you been alive to see so far? We've seen, maybe I haven't been alive this long, but we've seen, the advent of calculators, the internet, spell check. All of these things have destroyed academia as we know it when they were first developed, right? After spell check, nobody knew how to spell anything anymore. That's true for me. I think that's why I'm a bad speller. I may just be a bad speller anyway, but it might just be because I grew up on spell check. And now when I try to use words, they don't really come out that good. I just put it in the spell check and then we're done, right? For calculators, the same thing. Maybe we'll have this argument with a mathematician. It's like you could choose not to use a calculator and you can go on the whiteboard and write proofs all the way, all the way across all the whiteboards. Just find the biggest lecture hall with all the whiteboards and then just start writing proofs. If you think that'll get you laid, or you could just use a calculator. Probably not get laid as much, but all of your math, happens much faster on your TI-89 or TI-85, whichever one's your favorite. Now, same thing with AI. And so it depends on who's doing the driving here. Again, it's whose hands is it in? When you put a TI-89 in the hands of a mathematician, they're obviously going to use it a little bit differently, and they're probably going to make better use of it than an asshole like me who's trying to do their advanced physics calculus on their TI-89 because it can integrate. And same thing with AI too. Look, if you're using it to write all of your college papers, yes, it's going to write your college papers. They're probably going to be dog shit, and your college professors are going to get pretty frustrated with your dog shit AI slop. Or you can use the AI as a tool to help you with proofreading, to get a better command of language, to help you develop ideas and to expand on ideas and actually write them in correctly, right? So I'm a little bit optimistic when it comes to using these tools. Yo, USC is here. Improper use of the tools. It's not the tool's fault, right? Yeah, it depends on who's using the tools and how you use it. Hey, I don't know. Look, AI has been around long enough. You guys know when people are effing up with the use of AI, especially when it comes to writing and publishing things. There's so many professionals out there who have been caught red-handed, using AI in a crappy way. You know, they'll write these big long posts, and at the bottom it'll be like, hey, and if you have any more questions, just ask me. I'll help you develop the next part of this idea. They didn't even bother to edit the AI. Not only are they using the AI to write the entire thing, they're not even proofreading it. They're just leaving all of the chat GPT stuff in there and just copy pasting it in. And then they, you know, they think they're done. Then they're on to the next thing, right? Okay, so the use of IQ, the use of AI is a little bit of an IQ test, not to be an asshole. I'm just saying if you want to do better, and you want to have a higher IQ, then you at least need to try a little bit, okay? And don't just copy paste every little thing that comes out there. Like me, I copy pasted this workflow from the default, and now I'm already ripping it to pieces to understand how it works. You know, so tear it apart, take it apart, see if you can put it back together again, and gain a fundamental understanding of how it works. Yo, Tumlock is here. What's up? It's good to see you. It's good to see all of you guys. I'm just practicing my dance moves. That's all I'm up to right now is I'm a terrible dancer, so I thought, oh, you know what? I bet I could be a better dancer in about the 20 seconds it takes to render this puppy. But yeah, I do want to encourage you guys to check out this ComfyUI. And the WoW dance is absolutely yes. I think it was Anastas was here yesterday, and that was one of the first things he said was, you know, can we put some WoW screenshots and stuff in here? Yes, I think it's going to be great. And I love that the way you're thinking about that, because, you know, the way we've had to deal with like video game footage and screenshots and characters before is with the 3D programs and, you know, the traditional animation tools. And I would really like to see, I'm very curious about how these AI methods are going to help us create some really cool, what we used to call machinimas, you know, and animations in the video game world. So that's really exciting. And then High Potential is here, and he's talking about, you know, the use of some of these tools in science. And, you know, the part I'm curious about in the science world, you know, we know that, with these models here that we're using here, like the WAN and the Quinn image and all of this stuff, you know, we're doing this by training them. I trained it to my face. I just, you know, I did the training algorithms, and, you know, I made a whole bunch of these, and I'll show you some too. There's just a bunch of really dumb, ridiculous pictures that, you know, I've generated. And I just let it generate. I automated the generation of these, actually. So, you know, I went to sleep and I just told it, you know, make them, and it would just make them. You know, I'd wake up in the morning and have like, you know, 200 of these pictures just to look at, to see if my prompts are working, to see if it did what I thought it was going to do. And so this took training, right? And it took some time to like provide the AI with, you know, all the pixels. It did all of its pixel things, looked at one pixel and compared it to the other pixel, and then did some pixel stuff. So for the scientific learning and the machine learning, that's something that I don't understand. I do understand this. That's about as far as I've gotten, is training these models. Now, you know, I've done the images. Over the years, I like training it to various stuff. You know, what did we train way back in the day? I trained the AI to know what video game I was playing, right? And that was just my way of going in and figuring out how to train AI and try to understand the, you know, convolutional neural networks and whatever we were doing, 5+ years ago. Now it's a little bit different. So I've kept up on the training, and now I'm doing video. But there's so much about machine learning that I don't understand, and what all the different things that we can train it to do. So keep me up to date on the science stuff, because I'm curious about what we could do, and, you know, about what possibilities there are out there. Legends of the Arena. Oh, yes. Well, Ted, did you see, dude, and I can look at these images forever. This is so dumb. I'm so dumb. Literally, like what did I say last stream? I'm like a bird. When you put parrots like in front of a mirror, they just like trip out. They either try to fight it, or they like think it's their companion, you know, and it's like their best friend, and they just like talk to the mirror. That's what I feel like with these images. I'm like, look at that one. I'm like looking at these, and I'm like, Like, why am I doing images of myself? Everybody else, instead of doing images of themselves, they're doing images of like, naked girls, they're doing like boobies and all kinds of like weird stuff with whatever they do. And here I am like, me in a suit, me in a Antarctica, me in the desert, flying a plane. There's me. I think some Jesus stuff going on there, possibly. So like, what is all of it? Like, what am I even doing is, what I'm thinking. But I think, like to really answer the question though, what I'm doing is I'm learning how these tools work. I'm learning the fundamentals of, training and upscaling and, the sampling and some of these mysteries that are, so here's, this one is one I did for Pixaramas. I don't know if you saw this one on the last stream, but Pixarama was a YouTuber who is providing a lot of these workflows on their Discord. So they're just like, making a tutorial, kind of like how I did back in the day with Cinema 4D and After Effects. I'd explore something, I'd do a study on a technique and then upload it, and then other people could download it and stuff. And that did really well. That helped a lot of people. It helped me to teach it and to provide the workflows. And then so Pixarama is actually doing this, and now I'm the student, and they, in their Discord, they had a competition for creating a winter time machine, or frozen time machine was the theme. So I just put that in the prompt, and then I put it in the 3D text thing that I developed. And these are the things that popped out. So those are really cool.
We're having some McDonald's. Do you want some?
Right now?
Do you want me to save it for you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Save it for a minute.
Yeah. Save it for me. Maybe I can take a break in a few seconds for a burger. Some burgers are arriving pretty soon. And then, okay, so here's the sign up zone. So that's what I did with the Pixarama. I like this one. This one's actually probably my favorite with that cool texture text. And I didn't tell it to do that. This just kind of emerged, and I just kind of ran it through my workflow. And that one didn't work. I don't know who that guy is. It just, I forgot. I think I put Psynaps in the thing somewhere, and so it like put a person there. But anyway, this is the one I did of, my 3D text. And I haven't really done that much with 3D text with AI. So this means that we can definitely dive straight into the 3D text. And this time with game footage, this just happened to be like, I put in the prompt like a lush forest, and so I got this seed of the forest with some yummy chocolate pudding down there. Looks super yummy. I think that's supposed to be mud, but it looks more like pudding to me. Now we can refine this, and really pump this out and see if we can get it to go real time. I was thinking like, what would be the implication of figuring out how to get Prometheus bot to render some of these for us? Because that's what I did with the render farm before. After I'd build this big pipeline in After Effects or Cinema 4D and with Python and automate the rendering of some 3D text, and we'd build a cool scene. We'd spend like, a day or so, a couple of days, just like building a scene in Cinema 4D, looking at it, talking about it, like you guys telling me like, make it like this, or let's play this game. Let's do a World of Warcraft. Let's do, I don't know, whatever game, Battlefield. And so we do the game and we build the scenes, and then we just start pumping it through, the 3D text, and sometimes exploding it, and doing intros. So now we got this pipe started. It reminds me a lot of those previous pipes. So that means if we keep going, we could turn it into something incredible. Like, what if now, how does your imagination work? Like, what do you think? Like that sword. Now we can make some dreams come true that I could never do in the past. Like some people would be like, okay, now make my World of Warcraft character like jump out of the sky and there's an explosion, and then they land in hero pose with their sword and then fight off a bunch of skeletons, and the skeletons explode. And I'm like, oh my God, that's going to take forever to make that in 3D. And with AI, it'll still take a long time, but it's actually that much closer to being a reality of creating something completely over the top and then actually being able to like do it without an entire animation studio working on it for a month. What if we can bring the entire animation studio right here into that computer right there, and you could do the same thing too? We just need to figure out that pipeline. Didn't I do something like that with the Paladin? Yes, you're right. Right, I know we went through that, and it was really hard. And remember the Bajira intro? That was probably one of the coolest fucking things. Every time I talk to Bajira, he always, reminisces about that intro. And Bajira's, I think his hand, he like punched down Orgrimmar, just like wrecked Orgrimmar. And so in 3D, that's the way we had to do it before. And I think all I'm trying to say is now there's more ways, there's more options. So I think combining the two methods, like if you, start building stuff in 3D and then let the AI go nuts with the 3D world, like the meshes and stuff, it's probably just going to be so crazy and so awesome. Like it's just going to be like, it's going to be crazy. And we're going to be able to do it. It's not going to take a whole production studio of, lifelong animators who are professionals in their industry, working on this for long hours. Like high budget stuff is now going to come and be available, I think, to the creator. And then the high budget stuff is going to be even crazier because, like Hollywood, everybody's using these tools for sure. There's no doubt about it. Anybody who's not using AI in 2026, that's just like somebody refusing, to buy a color TV back in the day, or to watch a color TV because, or somebody who refuses to use the internet because, the internet's going to destroy the world. Well, I got news for everybody. Yes, it's probably all of this is going to destroy the world, but it's not going to be the AI that destroys it. It's going to be us. But yes, we are going to use the AI to help us in the destruction. Yeah. I don't think anything has probably changed in the last 100 years. Not a damn thing. I don't think anything has changed in the last 100 years. Nothing. We just have more toys. We just have different toys. That's all. The good guys are still the good guys. The bad guys, still the bad guys doing bad stuff. The good guys have to try to stop the bad guys from destroying everything. We just use different tools now. That's all. So let me take a look over here because I think where I left off was I was trying to figure this guy out right here. Why did he just pause in such a cool way right there? He's dancing and then just pauses, which is so cool. But how about you just keep on dancing, bro? Come on. We came all this way. Why don't you just keep going? I think what it's looking for is what the next frame is. I think I might have removed that from somewhere, but I don't know where. He's looking for the next frame, I think. Temlock is like, are you building a platform? No. I mean, I've thought about that kind of stuff, but I feel like there's so much of that going on, that I wouldn't really take the next step to build a platform. I think for this right now, it's just really experimental. But yes, I would if there's a platform to be made. I mean, if there's something we need that I could help solve by making a platform and then growing the platform, letting it develop. I mean, it sounds like fun to do all that, but that's not like what the goal is. The goal is really just testing the hypothesis. Like what can we do with these models? Is it, are they easily to obtain? Is the workflows like, what's the word? Viable for, moderate consumer grade computer build? So the answer to that, I think, is yes to most of those questions. What kind of pipelines are we looking at? There's so many things. It's hard to know which direction to go because we have image generation, we have editing, we have, some of the traditional workflows, the inpainting, all of these, normal, AI workflows. But how can we combine them into something novel, maybe something more creative? Bajira intro was 10 years ago. Ted says, you're the reason Twitch has host and raids and hype trains. Right. Yeah, we made Twitch. You know my feeling on that kind of stuff. We created this platform. The guys running it are not the people who created this platform. It was us. Time flies. We can make a video about it. I like this dance though. The dance part worked. He just freezes. I don't know why. But it'd be something I have to go through later. Are you guys going to be around later on? Because I might take a break in a little while and grab a burger and then come back for a late night stream. That's what I was hoping to do. I just wanted to get this started, and since I was working on it anyway, I may as well stream it. And I'm on the clock too. You know, the whole super stream system, the streaming platform, still going full force. The biggest streamers on Twitch still use the Psynaps systems for their everyday IRL live streams. And so when you go to Twitch and you see people that are streaming outdoors and stuff, a lot of those streamers, if they're not, bringing it in and, doing it themselves with their own people and stuff, they're using the cloud streaming system that, I created so many years ago. So that's still that's my full-time gig right now. And it's been incredible, with, helping streamers and being part of the streaming community. I've been able to do so many things, with the technology, with, expanding that company. And it provides for me and my family in such a huge way. And it's funny because, I'm not doing, that kind of streaming or anything. I could totally be doing an IRL stream on my own servers and stuff and just really pushing that. But you guys know that's not my style. I don't push it. I don't even talk about it. It's just, if you do IRL streaming, then you can come to me for that technology and I'll work with you. So if somebody came to me right now for the IRL stuff, I would, go and help them and make sure everything's going smoothly. But I can see everything right now from my command station, all the people that are live and all of the servers and stuff. We have hundreds and hundreds of servers out there on the cloud right now, and I can see all of them from here, and they're all just running. So I have plenty of time to, develop the system. The system is like a piece of art. It's already, running and running strong. I can come and take a break and create and work on AI and innovate, some new stuff for the next step, for the next chapter of streaming. Came a long way from the first IRL streams and backpacks. The way it started was, it was, Swifty, Swifty was always doing inventions, and he's always trying, like a new thing. And I think he was trying to stream going to the gym with his Google Glass, and there was really no tools for IRL streaming. It was just completely, we had to figure out how to do it. And only guys like Swifty, and me, who are just highly motivated to innovate something new in streaming and try things that may or may not work. It was just us, just a few guys that were trying to do that. And so we just kept at it. And I was already working on cloud stuff too. We're putting RTMP servers up on the cloud, and I was bouncing streams around already and providing that to other people too. Other people wanted an RTMP server, and I would start them up. And that wasn't the main business. It was just kind of a hobby. And then we started finding some apps that were starting to be developed. This was before even Streamlabs had an app. There was just some random, mobile apps. And we were pumping that through the Psynaps system. And then Twitch saw me doing that. I guess maybe they were asking around, and somebody said, hey, Psynaps is, doing this, doing some little bit of IRL, trying to figure out, with the RTMP. And Twitch came to me and said, well, we're starting to do this too. We've got backpacks. We've got these backpacks, and we're putting them on people all over the world, in Japan and all over, for partners. And I was like, oh yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. It's like, if you want to throw a backpack on it, then it'll work with that. And they're like, well, holy shit, because we don't have that. We're trying to figure out, how do we do alerts? How do we do all of this stuff? And I was like, well, and then the Psynaps system was born, and that was it. And GoPros, yeah. And so just, Twitch needed that for all the partners. So I just started helping all the partners do their live streams from all over the world. And that was how the cloud OBS and the Psynaps system started. And that's how IRL on Twitch was born. There was no IRL before that. That was us creating that and me working with the partners who were also wanting to stream outdoors. We created IRL. So, that's how I became the father of IRL. And we still just run it. I just pump it. I don't advertise it. I don't go out and be like, and I should too. I think as someone who runs a business, you're supposed to market and advertise and stuff. But I hate advertising. I hate ads. You hear me complaining about ads all the time. I don't like trying to stuff products down people's throats. So I just don't say anything. And my belief is if it's a good product, you don't need to advertise it. People will just, if it's good, people will use it. You don't have to try to force people to use it. It is hard, for people to know, because I think people are confused. The biggest problem I've seen is that people are confused. Like they don't know what the tools are. They don't know to talk to me. They don't know I do that. And so for the people that don't know, yes, they need to know, but I'm not going to force it down them. And also streamers are funny too. Like I don't think streamers like advertising. I think the companies who try to advertise and market and kind of force it down their throat, in my experience, streamers don't like that kind of stuff. So I've never tried that. But if you guys want to be my business partner, and create $100 million company through pumping it through some advertising things, like you said, Shark Tank. So if we put it on Shark Tank, those guys, they have the marketing wheels. If you want to put it through the marketing wheels and make it go to 100 million with me, I'm fine with it, but I'm not going to do it myself, or else I would have already did it. Let me put it this way. Let me say it two ways. I'll say, okay, if you want to make it $100 million company with me, I'll let you. And then on the same token, if I wanted it to be $100 million company, I would have already done it. So obviously I'm not going to do it. So I would need a partner to do it. It's funny how small projects and ideas can turn into a full-time career. Right. And I think that's true for everybody. When you have a hobby that you really love and you're doing it a lot, it's not hard to, if you have the energy and the motivation, you can turn your hobby into a business. Lots of people do that. I think that's how a lot of businesses start, where it's just somebody, they really love what they're doing. They love their hobby or their whatever it is they like, and they just go into it, start running it because they know how they want it to be run. Tumlock, you edited your first video ever because of Swifty. Yeah, Swifty, he's an awesome guy. I talk to him too. Like he'll call me on the phone once in a while, and we still talk. And he is a positive guy. He really is an awesome dude. Love him or hate him, he's a pretty good dude. I think he's like very positive. He's influenced and changed a lot of people for the positive. His parkour challenge, right? And some of the stuff is cheesy that he does too, but it's fun. The guy's very young-hearted, is lighthearted, and I think a lot of us could use a lot of that. And I think that's why Swifty's community is so strong, because I think we've come to the realization that we can use that we could use to be more lighthearted, like he is about a lot of things. And he's not perfect, it's not like, oh, all hell Swifty. It's not like that. It's just that, he's had some positive things along the years. So lots and lots of positivity. Boosted says, first dibs. Yeah. Hey, do you know Mark Cuban? Mark Cuban, I don't think he'd give a shit about the streaming stuff. Like if he wanted to do streaming, he would do streaming. He'd be like, he's like, are you Netflix? No. Well, then get out of here. I think Mark, because he's so silly, but I think he would have good ideas. I think he would be able to see a bigger picture on that kind of stuff. And that's I think that's the problem too with streaming technology. You don't really see too much. People don't seem to care too much in terms of like business, in terms of $100 million businesses, the streaming technology itself. So that's something I kind of wanted to push, was the tech. And I thought, okay, this is, I want to make my company a technology company, not so much media. and not so much like massive, cheap platform, $10 subscription with some cheesy, flashy, shitty quality live streaming. That's what everybody wants. It seems, that's what the budget for like your average, subscriber is, and so that's not what I created. I mean, it kind of is like just the RTMP, the stacks and stuff themselves could be like that, but like a full turnkey platform, it's not possible for it to cost that much. It has to cost more because, you can't. So I never wanted to dumb down the product. And that's something a partner could help me with too. The partner could help me to make my platform more of a piece of shit. It sounds negative, but it's not negative. It's basically how platforms are now. Very shitty quality, very like dilute so that you can sell it, at very high volumes, instead of like a really high quality cake, you just get like something that tastes like a cake for cheaper. I do the high quality cake. So that's why I need a partner to help me to keep doing the high quality cake, but also make something that's not the actual cake. That's just like cake like, and then sell that to like the massives. So that's been a challenge for me, like as a business, a tech company, founder, to kind of like try to find that balance between, quality and shit, and like which direction do you want to go? Everyone goes towards what I'm calling shit, because they want to sell, $1 million $10 subs. But I can't do it. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna sell shit. It's gonna be the best that in the world, and that's kind of how I try to go. Having a good social media presence, the streamers can tag the product. Yeah, there's that. There's the social media aspect of it too. Yeah. That's how I think that's how my company started doing well. Was I was already streaming. I already kind of had the streaming pipe, so the social media pipeline, and I just kind of fed my brand into whatever social media, we were already building, although they're kind of different things, kind of transition from media into technology. So the social media part is like, it's perfect. And I definitely should be doing more. Like I'm streaming, not for like advertising or marketing purpose. I'm streaming because I genuinely love to hang out with you guys and just like see your ideas and whatever, and share my ideas too. But it's really like, look, I can do my ideas on my own. I can do this all day long, which I sometimes do, when I'm digging into something, but sharing it and getting like feedback and then also hearing what other people are doing, that's just like, there's nothing that replaces that kind of social interaction. That's the most important part. So I think the same thing is true today than that has always been true when you're doing live streaming. And that's like, do it because you like doing it, not because you are trying to like have alternative goals. If you're selling some, and that's probably, maybe that's just me. Maybe I should take a step back and be like, I'm biased. When people are selling stuff, it's just like such a turn off, because you guys know people will sell you complete dog shit. Like people will literally fuck you over for your money out there. And it's always been that way. There's nothing has changed. But how bad, how scummy some people are, that's the worst thing. And so now as consumers, it's hard for us to trust anyone who's selling something, because we know that the scammers are out there, and and now I think one of the worst things happening with scams on the internet is just like the personal information sharing that companies are doing. There's no awareness or standard for information sharing. That means, whatever information you share with the companies that you work with, we have no control over that. And we basically allow companies to just like mine the shit out of us with no compensate for it. So, whenever I do run my company and stuff, and I work with, celebrities and big streamers and stuff, like I am like a vault, and I probably could be doing so many things that would benefit the company. But instead of doing that, I do what I want companies to do for me. And that is like, keep it legit, keep it simple, keep it square. No information sharing. We're talking about encrypted vaults. No, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be the president of the United States. I'd be like, fuck off. I don't share any of the customer's information without their approval. So I kind of like think of companies like that too. Like, I think of companies in terms of scumbag factor. We should name that. There's probably already like a name for it, but there should be like the scumbag factor from 0 to 10. How much of a scumbag is the company that you pay? That could be Comcast or, your Xfinity internet. What's the scumbag factor on Comcast support system? Right? They'll send you to like a call center somewhere else in the world that doesn't know shit or has absolutely no control over anything. All they can do is make you an offer on a cell phone data plan and send you a new iPhone. That's their only job, but they mask themselves as support. They're supposed to help you with your internet, but their real job is just to give you an offer on a data plan. So where does that land on the scumbag factor? I try to keep my scumbag factor 0. No scumbag. You just get what you pay for, and that's it. No more scumbags. And you know what's sad about that is, okay, so that sounds good, Psynaps and all. That's great. Oh, you're such a good guy, Psynaps. Hey, we got good guy Psynaps here, being a good guy in his company. But you'd be surprised at how much people don't give a shit that you're not a scumbag or that you're trying not to be a scumbag. Like, people don't care about that. People actually don't mind scumbag companies. They'll actually pay the scumbags even more money, I think. That's the part that baffles me. That's how I know I'm biased. Oh, did you guys see this? This is like my daily drinking cup has my pee on it. I put my pee on stuff. It's because turns out when you have a pee, you put it on stuff. Well, at least I do. All right, so what I have to do, I think I'm probably going to take a break, but I do want to come back because I could honestly stream probably for like, from this point on, I could probably stream for another eight hours, like literally, because I'll be up for another 8 hours. So I want to do that, but I'm still also working on, I want to figure out how to like get my schedule working with streaming because I haven't been streaming regularly. So it's hard for me to just like go straight 10 hours streaming the way my days are scheduled now. So, I'm already having to go to do some other stuff real quick. And then I'll come back, which I know kind of sucks, but it sucks for me more than anything. But I am going to be tackling this problem that I'm seeing right here with the animation. And there is so much more I want to do. We got to do the 3D text. Let me show you what is on my to-do list a little bit. So the videos and the animation, this is key. I'm not planning on uploading dancing TikTok videos. I know that's what other people think they're doing, but it's not going to be for that. It's really just about the command of these poses. So these poses, these are something we could do with video game characters, your characters, for example. What if I was able to import our video game characters like we used to do with WoW Model Viewer and do something meaningful with them, something cool. And it doesn't even have to be a World of Warcraft. I mean, it doesn't even have to be 3D. It could be anything now that we have this. So this to me is a solid pipeline worth investigating, just so we can animate more things that we can ever animate before without this technology. So that's going to be like an animation thing I'm personally interested in. I'm going to figure that out. The other thing was upscaling. I wanted to develop a pipeline for these images. So I generated a lot of these images just like overnight. And they are small. So part of the overall workflow is to resize them, to upscale, to refine and upscale these things. This kind of upscaling applies to the AI, but it might also work for just like regular photos and regular assets. So taking pixels, turning them into more pixels is like magic that I want to get a little more control over. So I have yet to kind of show you how I made these, how I trained these, and then how do we make them better? Because I like high quality. All of the time that I've been a streamer and I've streaming art, videos and stuff like that, there's always been this baseline requirement of trying to push the quality higher. And that's also was true for the IRL streaming part for the super stream system was, that also got popular and blew up because we wanted high quality streaming, not any streaming. We're talking about high quality from anywhere in the world in places that are hard to stream with not that much mobile data. How are you going to do a high quality thing there? So it's the first thing I think. I'm like, I see these images and I'm like, okay, these, if you think they look cool, they have a lot of details, they have what they have. How are we going to make it even better? How are we going to go higher? How are we going to generate an image where when other people see it, they're like, how did he do that? Because that quality is a little bit higher than the default, right? Or a lot higher. So the upscaling thing, that one is something that, we have to look at as well. Let me see if I could do this. Let me mute my Discord because people are already wanting to start up servers. We can't have those messages coming over because my competitors will be like, oh, what is Psynaps doing? What is Psynaps doing next? So they could try to like ninja always how they're doing. I like those video game ones. Those are kind of cool. There's like this web of fiber optics or something going around the top. And then, okay, so did I get down my to-do list? Upscaling the videos. Oh yes, last but not least, we might actually, I've got to master all this other stuff because the ultimate thing that I want to do is the 3D text, the 3D intros, both video and wallpapers. The way we used to do them, the way we have Prometheus kind of help generate these, because that was one of many things that we did first on Twitch and did the best was, the Psynaps stream, even with all of the creative artists out there that were live streaming at the time, and maybe even still today, I might still hold the record of the most user generated artwork for the users of the stream. Just doing a normal stream, like how much we pumped out just in the duration from the start to finish of the stream, pumping out all of these wallpapers and stuff. Man, that was cooking. At one point when we had the intros going, we had it like a queue where first time subscribers would get one image, second time would get the other one. And it kept going all the way till, I don't know, however many dozens of images we had. We had one for every month and everybody kind of like started at number one, I think. Well, for a while they did. For a while, everybody started at number one and then got the next one. And so every time you subscribed, you'd get a different piece of art. And not all of them were great. Like some of them were like, whatever, month number 3 maybe wasn't as good as month number 2 or whatever order they went in. But that was cool, just kind of reimagine something like that. And it doesn't have to be for subscribers. I'm not trying to like farm, hundreds of subscribers like we did before. But just having that cool pipeline where we could just like generate them based on the stuff that is important to us at that time, the game we're playing now, the newest game that's out or the one that we love the most, and then having like assets kind of being pumped out of that, that's kind of the cool thing. But yeah, Ted. Oh, cool. All right. Yep. And Tumluck. So yeah, let me go real quick. I'm just going to jump out real quick for a few. And then when I come back, I'm going to set some of this stuff up. So I will be here. I'll be here in Discord. Make sure you guys are in Discord. It's not too crazy in the Discord, but I do a lot of my work over Discord. So I do check it throughout the day. So Discord is definitely where we're still hanging out. And Discord will also probably be the place where I am sharing some of these downloads, like some of these workflows and stuff. I'll probably put them up there. I saw some YouTubers doing that with their Discord instead of trying to upload them. I might upload them too. Like I might make like a website where I can upload them, but Discord is such a already an easy place to share files. I don't even think I have Nitro on my Discord is pretty chill. I don't even have Nitro on there, but we can put it if we need it. And what else? That'll also be where we hook up the Prometheus chatbot for doing images. Because I don't want to like share, like we don't know yet what the AI is going to generate. It could do anything, right? It could be unpredictable what happens if I let you guys control Prometheus bot. If you guys have ever been to the stream where like, you know, the chat's getting crazy and people are doing crazy stuff, like just the craziest time was probably when we were doing Minecraft, all the crazy shit people would do in the Minecraft servers, right? I could see the AI like being unpredictable. So at least for a while till we figure out what its range of craziness is, I'll probably just keep it in Discord. You know, if something bad happens in the Discord, it won't, you know, be too bad. We can just moderate it. It's easy to moderate. The black hole giveaways. Oh, the black hole giveaways. Those are the best. The black hole giveaways were meant to be the most epic giveaways. I think we gave away a GPU. We gave away some crazy stuff during the black hole giveaways, you know, and we would, you know, use the donations and stuff, some of the donos and subs and stuff to kind of charge the black hole giveaway up. I think how did we do it? We did like a dono goal for black hole giveaway, and then we just give it away. You know, whatever the donos and stuff were, we'd put it towards something. So that was cool too. We didn't do too many black hole giveaways. We only did like a number of them, but some of them got pretty good. Some of them were pretty awesome. Yep. The WoW Minecraft server. Yeah, we did. We put a lot of effort and a lot of time into Minecraft, but it was worth it, right? Minecraft, it still is one of the best, if not the best games in the world. I think. Even though Microsoft does some weird things with their updates sometimes, but Minecraft, still amazing game, great times, and positive, creative, positive game. You know, where you can actually, you know, unleash your creativity and blow off some steam and still have fun and still be part of community. And the stuff we learn in Minecraft too. Don't even get me started. I got to bounce now, but I can tell you some of my funnest Minecraft stories, and you could tell me yours. But you know, first thing I always think of when we did Minecraft was there was the Dutch. What were they? The Dutch Minecraft gang. They were like a bunch of kids, like these Dutch kids, somewhere in the Netherlands. They all joined the Minecraft server, and they did the weirdest stuff. And they built these beautiful cities. They built these giant towns and cities. I thought they were master builders. But then they would fuck with each other, and then they would try to report. They would try to get me to send the people they were pissed off to jail. So they would fight. You know, they'd build these big cities, and then somebody would punch their door, and they'd be like, "This guy's been running around punching doors. He should go to Minecraft jail." And they would try to fuck each other over to get me to send them to jail. But since I was the administrator of the server, I'd go invisible and watch them, and I could see what they were doing. And they would like try to fuck each other over. They'd go punch holes in each other's houses and then try to blame it on a different guy. And I was like, "I saw you do it. You're going to Minecraft jail." And I would put him in jail for like a week or something. Anyway, I mean, I wasn't trying to send people to jail. It was just, you know, that we did have a Minecraft jail for people who were punching other people's houses down. There was a rule on the Minecraft server. We don't destroy other people's stuff. You're only allowed to destroy your own buildings. And there was the people who only like to destroy other people's buildings. And so when you run a Minecraft server, you have to deal with that stuff whether you want to or not. And I was like, okay, for the greater good, I'll put up with their bullshit and I'll do the moderation. And, you know, people that are always knocking down everybody's house, we'll put them in jail. And some people would just ban them, but I like to put them in jail for some reason, because then we'd go into the jail and then fuck with them. But okay, anyway, enough of that. We'll tell more stories later. I'm going to bounce out for just a little while, and I'll be back pretty soon. So thank you guys for being here. You guys make this a lot of fun. I wouldn't go live, I think, if there was nobody to stream to, and you guys always come to the stream after so many years, and I don't expect you guys to, but it makes me happy to see those names in there, and to get regrounded back to the old days. It's grounding in a way. When the world is changing around us and getting crazy, there's certain things in our life that remind us that we're not all losing our mind, and I think you guys are a lot of that for me. So I'll see you guys pretty soon, and maybe we'll play some games too. Maybe we'll do like a little bit of games, a little bit of art, but I'm going to hit this ComfyUI stuff pretty hard. Make sure you go and figure out if you can download this, see if you have enough hard drive space. All you need is some hard drive space and a GPU. I mean, you can use CPU, but I don't think it works as well. So if you have a hard drive storage space, well, not hard drive, it could be SSD, preferably NVMe. But if you have storage space and a GPU, just make sure you have enough space. And then I'm going to show you how to do the Comfy installation. I'm going to find the best link for that. I'm doing the portable version, but there's a couple of different versions out there. And there's a few guys who said they are recommending a certain install for people who are having trouble getting the right one installed. There's kind of like an easy install you can do. So I'm going to collect that info, or at least send you to where they have more info on that. And then I want to collect how I did mine, because I do portable versions, which means I can back it up. I can move it to a different computer. I like the portable install. And then just for educational purposes, the other thing I want to do is show you how to install Krita. So check out it's like Photoshop. It's like an open source Photoshop. And for all of you Adobe elitists, you might be thinking, oh, Krita, that's open source free stuff. I'm too good for that. I only use Adobe. Krita actually is pretty lit because it is open, and that it has a ComfyUI plugin, which is pretty damn legit and makes it actually fun and easy to start generating. In fact, the plugin itself will install ComfyUI for you. You will never even see this node-based stuff. You just see Krita. So that's one way too, if you don't want to deal with the node-based. But the node-based is more powerful. You're not going to be able to use my workflows in Krita. You have to do this kind of install to use the crazy ones. So that'll be the next step. Stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys pretty soon.